It's a beautiful night for football in Danville. A North Coast Section 4A playoff game here tonight. The Monte Vista Mustangs against the Amador Dons on Comcast. Dan Wall, Steve Sanchez, our great Comcast crew as always, Steve. Tonight we're going to take a look at two teams. One we're real familiar with, Monte Vista. One we're not so familiar with, Amador. It's our first look ever at the Dons. For Amador, they have a great family over there. We've heard a lot about them. You turn on all the big local high school sports productions and you hear about the Guillerys. Last year it was Corey Guillery. He's moved on. This year it's Casey Guillery and their cousin Nick who lead their offense.
And you know, Dan, they played 3 weeks ago, 30-27 win for Monte Vista. The closest game they played all year. And you're right, the Guillerys, he's a big power runner, moves the chains. Very good run. We'll see a lot of him tonight.
Yeah, Amador focuses on the run. Monte Vista focuses on offense on just about everything. They have 3 of the great offensive players in the region, Drew McAllister, Ryan Whalen, and their running back, Peter Gertz, who led the league in rushing.
And Dan, the 2 guys are McAllister and Gertz. If McAllister can run, he's so effective, and he gets in the secondary, he's gone. You got to respect the run. You have McAllister, and boy, what stuff he's done for a sophomore.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's Amador and Monte Vista next here on Comcast.
What is a coach, a teacher, a motivator?
Your favorite films in a great environment, all at Brendan Theaters of Concord in Pittsburgh. Enjoy the movie. Thanks again to all of our friends from the Comcast Game of the Week.
Hey, looking back at the game between Amador and the Mustangs a couple of weeks ago, the Mustangs held on to a 3-point win, but it took a great play by Peter Gertz at the end of the game to hold on to that 3-point victory. And considering the way the Mustangs have played this year, outscoring their opponents nearly 3-1, and the way Amador played against them, we could have a great game here tonight. And looking back at our games here on Comcast, guys, we usually save the best for the postseason. Dan, Steve?
Thanks, Tony. Back up in the box, getting ready for tonight's game. This is a 4A playoff game for all of you that are just joining us. The number 2 seed is Monte Vista, 10-0 on the season. Great undefeated season. Amador knows all about that, Steve. They were undefeated going in the playoffs last year. They finished this year at 7-3. Their only losses to the big 3 in their league, California, Foothill, and Monte Vista. Amador in the traveling white jerseys with the purple pants and gold trim, kind of a Minnesota Viking color pattern here, and Monte Vista in the all red at home tonight. Michael Papura, the senior kicker for Amador, will kick off, and back deep, 2 backs. One is number 10. That's Luke Langen. And Langen is in the end zone, and that will be a touchback. And Monte Vista will start from their 20-yard line. Here's the Monte Vista offense for you. Very good. Drew McAllister, the quarterback. Gertz, the lone running back, and a 3 wide receiver set with Langen, Noe, and Whalen. Brandon Sweety's a tight end. Across the front line, everyone almost made the all-league team here. Mosley, Seroy, Walker, Costanzo, and Rudberg. The kickers, Brooke Van Mugen for head coach Craig Bergen.
And Costanzo, he's the man-child, Dan. He's the one who throws people around like...
He was the MVP of the league.
Well, there you go.
Lineman. That doesn't happen very often, Steve. From the 20-yard line, first down. That's Sweeney in motion. And McAllister will throw on first down, swings a pass out. That's caught by Noe, and Noe gains about 7. Here's the Amador defense for you. Our first ever look at the Amador Dons on the football field. They have a great history over there. Teray, Thomas, Andorra, and Pack are the line. Kerrigan, Isabel, and Dakar, the linebackers. Creighton and Howard, the corners. Satterwhite and Hoyer are the safeties for head coach Rick Serra.
Hoyer was in on that last tackle, Dan. Go ahead, do your thing, Daniel.
And just to let you know, because we have all this information, Hoyer, a first-team all-league performer. Here's a catch on the far sideline. That pass was thrown and caught by Whalen. Excuse me, check that. Langen and Whalen.
No, you can't get them together.
And Van Halen, they all mess with me.
Yeah, and that was Ricky Isabel on the tackle right there, Dan. And right now, they're kind of getting McAllister's confidence real quick. Some really quick, safe passes. If he gets comfortable, this could be a long night.
First down from the 31-yard line. Just started this one. And, you know, they have a lot of time in this offense, Steve, because they don't huddle.
Here's McAllister doing his Peyton Manning.
Yes.
He's only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's going to be a stud in a couple of years. Here's Gertz, his first carry, big hole. And Gertz straight ahead for about 7. Hoyer was there to make the tackle alongside number 31 of the Dons, Sean McCafferty.
And Dan, that's what he does. You know, the kid has carried 207 times for 1,400. Here it is, Dan. Smash mouth football, right? Look at that hole, Dan. You could have went and got me a donut and a cup of coffee by the time this thing was over. But a great run by him, picked up about 8.
Once again, Steve, the food analogies, just reminding me. McAllister play action, throwing, and he overthrows his tight end, Sweeney. Good coverage that time by Hoyer, and it'll bring up a 3rd and short here early. Steve, let's set the tone a little bit for you. We talked about Amador. They're number 10 in the Contra Costa Times poll, number 14 in the Chronicle. 7-3 overall, 4-3 in the league, 3-2 on the road. Scoring 275 points for the 10 games, and giving up 168 as Gertz is ahead for a first down gain of about 4. We mentioned their 3 losses in league to California, 21-16. They lost to Monte Vista 2 weeks ago, 30-27. Lost at the Foothill last week, 21-7, and that's 2 losses in a row for the Dons.
And Dan, that was Andrew Jensen, number 38 on the tackle, not to be misplaced with my son-in-law, Andrew Jensen.
There you go. Here's Gertz, and Gertz just picks his way through it, dives ahead for about 5. So this is typical Monte Vista football early in the game.
Just showing up for work, rolling up their sleeves, Dan, and saying, okay, let's get it done.
There's Peter Gertz, Steve, 207 carries, 1,443 yards, and 14 touchdowns. The first-team all-league running back in the EBAL.
Nice kick-out block by number 11, Brandon Sweeney. Kind of let him turn the corner there, Dan.
2nd and 5 right from midfield. McAllister, here comes the blitz, and he just throws that one away and almost picked off. Good defense that time by the Dons. Isabel was there in coverage, going to bring up a 3rd down.
Dan, and on both of McAllister's incompletions, they looked bad, but they weren't smart. That could have got him because he kind of hung it up a little bit, but the other one he rolled out and threw it away, that's smart football. Like, you know, he just says, okay, I'm in trouble here, I'm going to get rid of this.
Can't talk a lot when Monte Vista has the ball. There's a replay of it. He just overthrew Gertz on the flat. Because they go right to the line of scrimmage here, 3rd and 5. First drive of the ball game, no score. McAllister, short drop, looks sideline, has a receiver. It's Noe, and Noe has a first down. He reaches forward to about the 37-yard line. Defense that time by Adam Howe. First down Mustangs.
And Dan, does it me or does McAllister look like he's just dropping back and playing catch?
It looks like he could start for the San Francisco football team on Sunday. Who you never know, we might need a quarterback over there.
Well, you know, that's so. Well, right here, Dan, look, it's like a 4-step drop. Look at this. Now watch where he puts this ball, Dan. Look at this. Wow. Sophomore, folks. My kid can't mow the lawn.
Gertz on the left side, gain of 3. Now here's Monte Vista's story for you, Steve. 10-0 overall, 7-0 in league, 6-0 here at home. It's pretty obvious if they're 10-0, they haven't lost at home and they haven't lost in the league, right?
Right.
I just thought I'd check with you.
Yeah, that's right.
Scored 385, 38.5 a game, averaging on defense 133, giving up 13.3 a game. They beat San Ramon last week 49-7. They're number 2 in the Times poll, 3 in the Chronicle. They're the best public school because the other 2 in that poll are Valley Christian and De La Salle, which are private schools, Steve. Here's a hand off straight up the gut to Gertz, and that time he's hit hard by 2 defenders there. Number 32, Satterwhite, was there alongside of Ryan Kerrigan, and Ryan Kerrigan is a name I know from the talking to their athletic director. He's a first-team all-leaguer as well. Lou Cesario, the athletic director at Amador Valley.
I talked to Coach Rich Hansen. I want to thank you, Rich, for giving me some stuff. And he goes, Steve, watch him. He's a smack-mouther. He's a smack-mouther is what he said.
A smack-mouther?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know. That's what he told me, Dan.
3rd and 3. McAllister, short drop, throws, and he's looking for a receiver. That was number 10, Langen, and Langen was running towards the end zone, and that's incomplete. But knowing Coach Bergman, this is 4-down territory.
Right, and I see Coach Babcock on the sidelines. He's looking at his wide receiver with his hands up. So I think he wasn't happy with the pattern he ran.
McAllister on the year, 128 completions, 189, 1,695 yards, 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and there's Coach Bergman, and a lot to talk about there in his 9th year here at Monte Vista. Here it is, first big play of the ball game, 4th down from the 31-yard line. Fakes the pitch, rolling out, in trouble, nice move, McAllister looking, throwing to the end zone, has the receiver, touchdown, what a play! McAllister to NOV, 31 yards, touchdown, 8:16 to go first quarter. That kid's a sophomore, it's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable, Dan, and what he did, he bought a little bit of time with his legs, and you're going to see this on the replay, he actually could have ran this or through it, but he just, obviously he made the right decision, but wow, Dan, wow.
There was a band called Bow Wow Wow, but that's the first time I've ever heard 3 wows in one. Van Mugen, the all-league kicker, is on to attempt the extra point. The kick is up, the kick is good. 8:16 to go first quarter, 7-0 Monte Vista. Let's take another look at it.
Okay, Dan, we're going to take a look. And right here, you're going to see McAllister. What you're going to see him do with his legs, Dan, watch this. Good rollout, but watch this. All of them don't bite. But right there, he herky-jerked him. Now watch this throw on the run, Dan. Watch where this ends up. The old bread basket, buddy.
I had Noe catching that ball. I don't know what I was looking at. That was Ryan Whalen.
It was Whalen.
I think the problem is, Steve, in the press box, I was looking at the wall. And
now look at this. Look how I'm leading him and stuff, though.
Oh, you know why? Like I said, not to just to give you an idea, though, I kind of have to look around this big pole, and I saw Noe come in at the last second. I thought he made the catch. It was actually Whalen.
But, well, you know what? Whalen got it, and it was a great play by McAllister. He bought some time with his legs. And Dan, Keith Jackson would say, "Oh, Billy,
yes,
he's only a sophomore."
Whalen caught 47 passes for 627 yards in the regular season. There he is on the sideline.
Yep.
He was all-league.
Yep.
Steve, a lot of all-league performers. Everyone virtually made the all-league team on the Monte Vista's offense. Unbelievable.
Yep.
McAllister, Gertz, Whalen, Mosley, and Rudberg were first-teamers. And, of course, the big man Costanzo was the MVP of the entire league. I think that means you're all-league on both sides.
Well, my son came home and goes, "Dad, can you believe it? Costanzo didn't even make all-league." That's what he told me.
Well, that's because he didn't.
He won the whole league. How's that? How's that? Okay, son?
And he's going to Cal next year. You know, this guy, cream of the crop. So he was number 26 football player in California. He's an All-American, top 5 West Coast lineman, top 100 prep athletes at Contra Costa County, All-State, All-Metro, first-team All-League offense and defense. That's last year, MVP of the league this year. Unbelievable stats for Mike Costanzo. Here's the kick, and it's taken by number 21, Colin Creighton. And he has some room. Nice return, nice spin move at about the 30, and out to the 34-yard line goes Creighton. Here's our first look at the Amador offense. Pat Glenn's the quarterback. We talked about Guillory and Andujar, who is an all-leaguer, are the running backs. His cousin Nick Guillory is a wide receiver, and Satterwhite is the other wide receiver with Alex Pack, the tight end. Across the front line for the Dons, Starkey, McVeigh, Arola, St. Dennis. We're missing someone there. And actually, Papura is the kicker. Let me give you the center on that. It's Max Deschamps is the center for the Amador Dons. First down, this is Guillory. And he is tackled for a loss of about 2. And I did see the big man Costanzo there. Here's the defense for you.
David Rudberg was also in on that, Dan.
And there's Rudberg with Banzette, Costanzo, and Walker across the front line. Silva, Sweeney, and Ornelas are the linebackers. The cornerbacks are Langen and Quaid, and the free safety is Whalen, along with a strong safety cadet for head coach Craig Bergman. His defensive coordinator is Craig Bergman.
Craig Babcock, ain't it?
No, Craig
it's
Babcock
himself.
is an assistant. Yeah, Bergman's the defensive coordinator.
Look at that.
I take that back, Steve. Bergman's the offensive coordinator.
There you go.
Steve Malnick is the defensive coordinator for the Monte Vista Mustangs.
Now, why would somebody run at 55? I don't know. That guy's a tough guy to move out of there. You got to admit that, Dan.
3rd and 7 for Amador, their first drive of the ball game from the 36-yard line. One back, 2 wide receivers near side. Glenn to throw, and Glenn is sacked. Hammered by number 71 of the Mustangs, Fred Walker. And so Amador goes 3 and out. Very pumped up Monte Vista team playing at home in front of about 5,000 fans tonight, Steve.
Yep. And Fred Walker just shot through there like he was shot out of a cannon. He just got there and had big results, Dan. I got to talk to the coaching staff over there, and they talked to me. I don't think they know me, so they talked to me. And
so that's the thing. We do teams that don't know you.
Don't know me. Yeah, they'll talk to me. So I got a little bit of information over there on them guys. They're a great bunch.
Whalen deep for Monte Vista. Papura, the punter, from his 31. Short kick. Takes an Amador bounce. Ooh, almost hit a Mustang.
Yeah.
And rolls down to the 35-yard line. 34-yard punt, no return. Monte Vista takes over here, their second possession. 6:14 to go first quarter. Great friends of the program here on the Comcast Game of the Week here in the playoffs. It's great to have you all with us. Rocco's Ristorani and Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Thanks for tonight's crew meal, guys. Contra Costa Clean Water Program and Mr. Funnelhead. Velocity Sports Performance. Brendan Theaters, you know, I Walk the Line with Joaquin Phoenix, also the new Harry Potter movie at the Brendan Theaters this weekend. Hertz Equipment Rental, Peacock Expressions Gallery in Antioch. Thanks to all the great friends of the program. Back with the live action and that rapid fire Monte Vista offense here. No huddle once again. McAllister the quarterback, Gertz behind him. And here's a handoff to Gertz, left side, running behind Costanzo. And Gertz is good for 5 or 6, it seems, Steve, even if he doesn't get the blocks.
No, absolutely. He's one of them elusive runners. You know, he gets past that first wave. You know, the linebackers are there. He's going to get 5 or 6. But if he gets past the linebackers, see ya.
By the way, Jerry Robinson, Phil Brown, Gary Ingram, Dale Newhouse, a veteran in this area, and Mike MacArthur, our officials here tonight, a veteran crew. Usually they get awarded these assignments for doing good jobs during the regular season. The winner of this game plays the winner of the San Leandro-Pittsburgh game next week. Here's McAllister to throw, swings one out in the flat. This is Whalen, and Whalen takes a nice hit that time. On defense for Amador, it was Creighton who threw him to the ground.
And number 2, Isabel, was there too. Ricky Isabel and Amador, Dan. He was in on that mess. Let's watch number 2, Dan. Let's see if he doesn't come in here and make a little bit happen right here, Daniel. Right there, there's a nice catch. You're right, there's an additional hit, and then
that was like that thing you said,
right.
Hog tie with a, what was that last week against Pittsburgh? It was like a hog tie and then a slam down or something. That's Gertz. Gain of 4, first down Monte Vista out to the 47. So Monte Vista just, you know, they're not getting big plays. They had the one big play, but they're just getting 4 and 5 every time.
But there you go. That's what's coming at you. Number 25, Dan of Amador. He was in on that. Curtis Dakar.
7 carries, 36 yards for Gertz, Steve, here in the first quarter. Amador showing blitz here. First down. Here they come. McAllister on a little quarterback draw, and he barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Number of Dons there in on that tackle.
Kerrigan, number 44. Go ahead, Dan.
I was going to say on the Amador defensive side of the ball, they have 3 first-teamers in the EBAL, Ryan Kerrigan, Colin Creighton, and Colin Hoyer. And also Chase Turay and Paul Thomas, second-team All-Leaguers in the EBAL. So a lot of good play, and I think that's one of the strengths of the Amador team. When you look at their scores, they haven't given up a whole lot of points.
No.
Matter of fact, the most points they gave up was to Monte Vista 2 weeks ago down at their own school. Second down. McAllister, deep drop this time, throws near sideline. In and out of the hands, I believe it's Whalen right in front of us, and it is. The defense that time, once again, it was Creighton, the defender.
Right. And let's watch it right here. McAllister makes a big mistake. He hits it right in the hands. See that? Terrible pass.
It's horrible.
That's terrible, Dan. I mean, you know, how are you supposed to catch that thing?
It was right there. Looked like he might have been just a little
maybe turning his hands a little bit, yeah. But he's a good receiver, as we've seen earlier.
We mentioned Gertz, McAllister, Whalen, all the leading players in their respective division, you know, quarterback, receiver, and also rusher. And here's a pass to Whalen. Whalen has a first down. He's still in his
goodbye.
He's at the 30, the 20, the 10, gets a block, touchdown, Monte Vista, 48 yards. Excuse me, check that, 52 yards, Steve, 52 yards. Unbelievable, just a little quick pass into the flat. And Whalen did the rest, and he has 2 touchdowns. Monte Vista has 2 touchdowns, and the number 2 seed's looking like the number 2 seed tonight. They lead 13-0.
Dan, he made a move on the guy in the secondary that he had to take aspirin because he got a little dizzy from it. and then he picked up a great block from Luke Langland down the court. to seal the quarter. We'll see that on the replay.
Van Mugen adds the extra point, 14-0. I want to take a look at this, and this, you know what this play remind me of? Remember the Raider game a couple weeks ago in Kansas City when they got the big play at the end to get down to the 1? Right. They swung a pass kind of like this in the flat. There was no one there. They had abandoned that entire section. Kind of looks like the same play here.
That's
Steve.
a good point, Dan. Now watch this right here. This is a pro offense. Watch this. Jump. See you later. That's his speed. Now watch this move. Goodbye. Oh, there he goes. Now watch number 10 right here. Seal off the end. Watch this, Dan.
Nice block.
Is that look? I mean, just destroyed the guy. You know, you couldn't draw it up no better than that.
McAllister, 111 yards already here in the first quarter passing. This big play, 53 yards.
Nice move.
3:56 to go first quarter, Steve, and it's 14-0. I dare say Amador needs to get on the board here quick.
Oh, I think so too. And you know they got to kind of stop the bleeding because here you are. They're like, here's some friends. Go ahead, Dan, do your business.
Amorosa Antique and Floral, Diablo Auto Sales, Jeffrey Hogue, Doctor of Dentistry, GamePod Combat Airsoft, Antioch Opticians, Images of 3 Hair Salon, Recovery Carpet Care. Additional friends, White and Onody Doctors of Dentistry, Roger Fernando State Farm Insurance, the 19th Hole Casino and Lounge, Randy's Carpet Care, the New Mecca Cafe, Bridgehead Self Storage, and Rock Bottom Records. And dare I say it, Steve, I have to remind myself and Metal Matt, but Rush has a new DVD CD collection coming out on Tuesday at Rock Bottom Records, one of Metal Matt and mine's favorite bands.
There you go.
Rush out of Canada.
Out of where?
Canada.
Okay.
Toronto specifically. Here's the kickoff. Van Mugen, little dribbler. I believe that's Andujar with the ball. Tackled at the 24-yard line. Amador's one of the, well, both these teams actually, Steve, neither team with numbers on their shoulders. So every once in a while, it's a challenge to see who has that ball. Fury made the tackle for Monte Vista. Rocco's Ristorani and Pizzeria voted best pizza in the East Bay. Ignacio Valley Road at Elk Grove.
And great minestrone soup, may I say,
yes.
today. Oh, they had some killer minestrone soup there. Wow.
Absolutely.
I love minestrone soup when they do it right there.
From the 25, first down. Glenn to throw, swings a pass out. This is Nick Guillory, and it's in his hands, and then a good hit that time defensively. I believe it was Quady, number 32, Nick Quady, that was there to make that hit. And here's another look at it.
Well, right here, he puts a nice throw on it, Dan, a little bit high, and once he juggles, Quady gets in and just said, no, you can't have it. My coach told me not to let you catch these over there.
Well, that's usually, most coaches would tell them not to let them.
I kind of figured that out. Took me a while, Dan, but I got it.
2nd and 10. And a handoff to the motion back Satterwhite. And he's knocked out of bounds. Actually, they're saying he's inbounds. Hit inbounds and knocked out finally after a gain of about 3.
And Dan, you're right. I couldn't agree with you more. I couldn't agree with you more, Dan. I think that they need some sort of something just to shoot them, lift them up, go to Starbucks, get some sort of an espresso to get them going, and, you know, shot in the arm, and I think they'll be okay, but this is a big play early. 3rd down and about, what are we looking at, Dan, 7 or 8?
I'd say I'll call it 3rd and 7.
Okay.
Play action, Glenn to throw, and he's hit, and he fumbles. The ball's on the ground, and one of the Dons is there to fall on it. I believe it was Guillory, it is. And so, but a loss on the play is going to bring up a 4th and long, another punting situation, and right now Monte Vista is just having their way with the Dons. Van Zet forced the fumble with that, what was nearly a sack, Steve.
Let's watch big number 72. He goes up high with his hands. He throws another guy like a rag doll, and he says, you know what? You're done. What a great play, Dan. Anthony Banzet.
Yep, and he's just a junior.
He's only a junior, folks. He'll be back next year.
Unless he moves.
Unless he moves.
I've said that a few times. I'm like, hey, that guy's going to be great. Oh, he moved.
He may move. Oh, where'd he go?
Papura on to kick from the 18. High snap. Here's the kick. This is a high punt, but very short. Monte Vista is going to have great field position, although this does roll all the way to about midfield, where they're going to down it at the 49-yard line of Monte Vista. A 33-yard kick. Here's the 4A bracket for you, Steve. You can see up at the top the big green machine got the number 1 seed. They're playing Logan tonight at home, and we're here at the 2 and 7 seeds, Monte Vista and Amador. Tomorrow night, California, who had a great year. You got to give them a lot of credit. I'd really like to see that team play.
Me too. I think that's going to be a great game, Foothill in California.
A lot of people think the best in this bracket, and then San Leandro and Pittsburgh. As a matter of fact, Steve, as we start to look ahead to next week, one of the possible games could be the winner of the California Foothill game at De La Salle. Could be a game we could consider for you, although the big one that we're looking at is Ignacio and Acalanes if that happens next week.
Well, I don't know what game we're going to do. I know I'll have no voice in it. I'll just show up where you tell me to show up at. That's you and Matt.
I've heard that's how Natalie treats you, too.
Oh, that's right.
There's a penalty on the play, Steve. This ball all the way back now to the 38-yard line. Amador has just got to be shaking their heads right now. We played so evenly with this team just 2 weeks ago, and right now they're not getting anything done. 2 fakes. McAllister steps up. They're going for the jugular. Pass down the middle. Nice play on defense. Hoyer there for the interception. So Monte Vista bit off a little bit more than they could chew right there. And Hoyer, playing deep in his safety position, intercepts that pass, and they take over, albeit on the 2-yard line.
There you go, Dan. Albeit. That's the key there, albeit. Because it is on the 2-yard line. You couldn't punt better than that. But anyway, he kind of hung it up there. I think he could have threw it towards the pylon a little bit more, and he could have broke that way, but he threw it towards the post, so the kid had time to get underneath it. He's just flinging it right here in the middle of the field. But here we go, Dan. They're way down in
no man's land, Steve. From the 2. Handoff straight up the gut to Guillory, and Guillory barely gets a yard. Costanzo was there.
Yeah, but who looks at the bottom?
Well, you just look at like Costanzo and then the rest of them. It's kind of how it looks like to me. I mean, what a stud, though. Going to Cal next year, we mentioned that. And the most valuable player in this league. And, Steve, I can't remember the last time there was a most valuable player was a lineman. It's almost always the quarterback or the running backs that get that.
Last time I remembered, Harvey Martin and Randy White got the MVP in the Super Bowl.
That's a good point.
That's the only time I remember 2 linemen doing anything. Well, I better not say that, but I mean, you know, getting noticed.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9. Glenn to throw from his end zone. Chucks one up the sideline for Guillory, and Guillory running with Quady. It's incomplete. Going to bring up a 3rd and long here with 1:13 to go first quarter.
And see, Dan, this is the thing. Now you're in 3rd and long. Let's watch the replay right here. He's just going to fling it. He's running a go pattern. Just go. And it didn't work out. And now they're down here, Dan. What the coach was thinking, well, they got that ball. They're down here. If we stop them, we're going to be on about the 30 when we get the ball back anyway. You know, so huge play right now. They need to get out of this hole.
-8 yards total offense for the Dons in the first quarter. Monte Vista leads 14-0.
I don't care what it is. Jackson sticks his head around the corner again. I'm going to slap him.
Glenn in trouble. Now throwing. Far sideline. Up for grabs. Oh, almost caught by Hoyer. The coverage there by Sweeney. And it's incomplete, and another punt for Amador with 1:06 to go. Steve, that's enough time for Monte Vista.
Oh, absolutely. But you know, the one thing about it was, he threw into double coverage, but the kid almost came up with it, Dan. Who was it who we threw to?
This is a Hoyer.
Hoyer, see the ball? He didn't get on like he wanted to, but I'm sorry, Dan, there was double coverage right there on him. Here he is, and now you can see it. 2 guys right there, you know.
Sweeney and, is that in Langen? Sweeney came late. Langen was there to block it, to tip it away. So from deep in his end zone.
There's a 2-point conversion there.
And now it's a safety.
Yeah.
A safety as the snap goes out of the end zone. Monte Vista leads 16-0. 1:04 to go here in the first quarter, and they'll get a punt from the 20. Crazy quarter here for Amador, Steve. You got to figure Monte Vista looking and going, well, we got to play a team we just played 2 weeks ago, beat by 3.
Well, you know the thing about it is too, Dan, is that now they got a kick to them, and right now the dam is starting to crack a little bit. So they're going to really have to kind of go, okay, guys, this is it. Your defense, he's talking to his defense or his special teams out there. No, his defense or his special teams. But anyway, he's got to tell them, look, guys, I can't do it for you. Here's the snap. Oh, you know, he just took his eyes out off of it. I don't know.
He was probably looking at that line, and some of the big guys
coming close,
in. Right. So, Steve, right now, I would think they have to stop him here. As you see a nice shot of the big moon.
There's the big moon.
Yeah, big moon, and the Hertz Equipment Rental. And Pacheco, thanks for the scissor lift tonight, guys.
Every time I see the moon, I think of what band, Dan?
The Who. Keith Moon.
No.
Peacock Expressions Gallery.
That's who I think of. That's him.
Who do you think of? Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd?
There you go. I know, but I'm not going to tell you. How long is it going to take you?
Quady and Langen are the deep backs for Monte Vista.
I was waiting you to say Moon River, and I was going to slap you.
Andy Williams.
There you go. Folks, this guy doesn't miss a thing. But go ahead, Dan.
He's going to kick off the tee, and it's a little squib kick. And it rolls to Langen at the 35, and Langen is still on his feet. He breaks outside. He's at the 40. He's got one man to beat. He beats him. Langen all the way. Touchdown. Touchdown, Luke Langen. Just like that, 12 seconds to go. 22-0 Monte Vista, Steve. Unbelievable what's going on out here right now.
And Dan, who would have thought this?
Not me.
No, not at all. And Dan, there's the Monte Vista cheerleaders. They're coached by Karen Pilcher and Sue Rodich. And Dan, I'm going to give you a guess. How many kids you think they have on the cheer squad? We've already
68.
You've seen it written down on my note. You punk. They have 68 kids on cheer.
Well, look at all the players on the Monte Vista side and all the players on the Amador side. It's incredible.
Steve from Notre Dame's going, no kidding.
Steve, there was a penalty on the play.
Okay, go ahead, Dan.
It's not a touchdown.
Oh, okay.
The ball is set back now at the 20-yard line after the penalty. First down, though, for Monte Vista. Handoff on an end around. This is a new number for us in the ball game. Number 8. That's Zach Cadet.
And a late flag comes in, Dan. Let's see what it is. It was right at the tackle. I think you're going to get a block in the back. Go ahead. Nice.
This
nice
has been nutty.
Oh,
you think there's a touchdown, there's a penalty. I didn't even see anyone make a call.
Here.
Personal foul, face mask.
Okay.
After this is the first down.
Now, Dan, let me ask you something. What if me and you got together and it's never been nutty, stupid, or crazy, or something happens? Come on now.
So here's the personal foul face mask.
That's a good call.
That's pretty obvious.
Yeah, and you're going to get a good look at it.
So delaying the inevitable by about maybe 20 seconds right now with that run.
Yeah.
We're going to send it on the sideline to Tony real quick.
Hey, before the game, I talked to Don's assistant coach, Rich Hansen, and I asked him, what does it take to stop this Monte Vista offense? He told me, well, first thing, we've got to avoid mistakes. Second of all, we've got to be able to stop the run because Monte Vista gets so many big plays off the play action that if you're not stopping the run, you won't be able to stop the pass. You avoid the mistakes. Also, they need some big drives because it's not enough just to score points, but they've got to take time off the clock and eliminate some Monte Vista time of possession. Of course, right now, that's proving to be a lot easier said than done. Guys?
Well, one thing we've got to watch for, Steve, in this ball game is Monte Vista doesn't huddle.
No.
They go straight to the line and do the play. So as we went to Tony, they scored a touchdown. Hopefully we have it on a replay. But 4-yard run for Gertz, and it's 22-0, which it was what it was
a little bit ago anyway.
About 38 seconds ago.
Right.
So now it's 22-0, and Monte Vista is going to go for 2 to try to make it 24 here in the first quarter. This team is just an offensive juggernaut,
yes,
Steve. I don't think there's anything else to say about it at this point. That's Whalen in motion, and a little pitch. This is Gertz, and Gertz is one-on-one out there, and that is not a good matchup for anyone because Gertz just piles in for the 2-point conversion. 3 touchdowns, a 2-point conversion, and a safety in the first quarter, 24-0. And Steve, you almost have to say at this point, Amador, if they don't score the next time they have the ball, it's just about over. Here's the touchdown for you.
Well, here it is, and it's just smash mouth Gertz. You know, they're going to run behind number 55, and I believe, and here's a 2-point here. This little pitch kind of gets a bite off the defense right there. But on the first run, you know who they ran behind, Dan?
Costanzo.
And I bet you money he's such a good blocker, he could block traffic from here all the way to 580 and 680 interchange. That's how good of a block he is.
That's how good him and Rutherford.
He can just go right out here and block everybody back all the way.
Well, they don't even need him because every time I've ever driven down that road, it's been blocked back to the 580, 680
because Costanzo's on the side of the road. Haven't you seen it?
Is that what it is?
Right.
I didn't know it was that. I thought it was just because there were 600,000 or 700,000 cars on the road.
Is that Gertz right there? That's a recruiter from Michigan. Tell him, look, I'm telling you, one more year, son. I'm going to be back here. And
well, Craig Bergman has a great staff here. Chris Babcock, Stephen Sandy, Malnick, and also Ned Milan are the coaches here. Just a 5-man
I see Coach Babcock go, Coach, I'm really sorry about what happened in the locker. He goes, oh, Steve, don't worry about it. Nice to get out of here. They treat you like family here.
Van Mugen the kick. And this is number 21.
And there's a wedge.
Creighton. And he has a nice return this time out to the 25-yard line. Number 19 for Monte Vista, the kicker, Van Mugen there to make the tackle. So 27 seconds to go first quarter, and Amador's got to get something. They just need a first down, Steve.
Well, Dan, you know what? I think right here, I understand what you're saying. They need some sort of, rhythm or something going just to get them out of the funk they're in. And it's a lot has to do with Monte Vista, but for them to have a chance, this is the drive. I believe that totally, Dan.
Glenn to throw, first down, throws far sideline. And that's intended for, I believe it's Satherwaite diving over there. It was, and it's incomplete. 22 seconds to go. Whalen, a 30-yard pass, touchdown reception, and a 53-yard pass. A lot of that was yak yardage or
yards after the catch,
whatever you want to call it.
And right here, just a little bit out of the reach right there, number 32, Dan, from Amador. That is Devin, is it Satherwaite?
Satherwaite.
And his coach calls him Devin Saturday.
We'll see on Saturday, Devin.
We'll see on Saturday, yeah.
And off to Guillory. Guillory hasn't found a hole tonight. Had a big game the last time these two teams played. Tonight a 2-yard gain there, and that will probably, Steve, be the final play here in the first quarter. Clock running inside at 10 seconds to go.
And that was Matt Silva on that play, big number 50, Dan.
That'll do it, Steve, for the first quarter. What a shocker from Danville. 24-0 Mustangs. We'll be back with the second quarter after this on Comcast.
Looking for quality equipment rental with a helpful, friendly staff? Hertz Equipment Rental of Pacheco has over 4,100 pieces of reliable equipment to choose from, ready for delivery. Or if you're looking to purchase equipment, check out our pre-owned equipment sales list for super bargains on well-maintained pre-owned equipment. With Hertz, you have the right tool to get the job done. That's Hertz Equipment Rental at their new location, 30 South Buchanan Circle in Pacheco. Call Hertz today, 925-680-0316.
It doesn't matter what sport you play. It doesn't matter what position you play. It doesn't matter whether you're turning pro or just starting out. It doesn't even matter how old you are. If you want to maximize your potential, you need Velocity Sports Performance. Velocity Sports Performance. Maximize your potential. We guarantee it.
Quality fine art, collectibles, and framing. Peacock Expressions Gallery of Antioch has it all. A wide variety of custom framing to fit everyone's needs. A certified showcase gallery with unique art from Thomas Kincaid, Lenox Classics, Franz, Thomas Blackshear, Armani, Bradford Exchange, and more. From original art to posters, worldwide, national, and quality local art, where quality does not have to break the bank. Find that special gift for that special someone.
Second quarter from Monte Vista High School, 4A playoff game. 24-0 Monte Vista here as we head in the second quarter. Quite a shocker here so far. Amador, a very, very good competitive team, but being beat up tonight. Here's a long pass down the middle of the field intended for Hoyer, and great coverage that time by Langen. And number 3, Sean Spillner, running step for step. 0 for 5 passing. Now that one, Steve, talk about great defense.
Right.
2 guys running step for step. Well, it's good defense if 1 guy's running step for step.
Right.
Well, you got 2 guys, you got a pretty good chance that that's not going to get caught.
And you know, Dan, the thing about it is, right now, early, they're already out of their game plan. You know what I mean? They can throw the ball, but what they really like to do is get Guillory involved in the offense. Haven't heard a whole lot of him.
Well, we haven't even heard from Andujar at all.
Yeah,
and he's a first-team all-leaguer.
Yeah, so I don't think they need to panic as right yet, but it's getting close to we're in deep trouble already, because they are in trouble.
Papura kicks, and it's downed at the 46-yard line of Monte Vista. The Mustangs will take over here 15 seconds into the second quarter. Let's say hi to the great friends of the program here on the Comcast Game of the Week. If it wasn't for these folks, Steve, and plus our great crew and you and me, we couldn't do these games for you every week.
That's true. We really appreciate it.
Rocco's Ristorani and Pizzeria in Walnut Creek.
That's eating.
Velocity Sports Performance in Concord.
To enhance your performance.
That's right. GamePod Combat Airsoft.
To shoot somebody legally.
Diablo Auto Sales of Antioch.
Used car sales, go there.
Amorosa Antique and Floral.
Go check that place out.
Mazzei Pontiac in Pittsburgh on Auto Row.
Go see Andy Anello. Tell him I said to fix you up. See how they do it the Mazzei way.
Vacalin is in at running back for Monte Vista, and he has the handoff on a draw play. You know, Vacalin had a nice year as well.
Yes, that's true.
Just to give you some idea, he ran the ball 107 times for 660 yards.
And big number 44, Ryan Kerrigan. He's 6 foot, 230. And Paramount Technologies, Dan, you want to talk to them about the computers behind Tower Records and Conkers? They are wizards, but you don't have to talk to them. Rodney's there. Who else is there?
Tam.
Rami.
Tam and Rami.
Rami and Tam. See, Romy. See, I do good till names, Dan. Then I'm just terrible.
No gain on first down. Now 2nd and 10. Little inside screen to Whalen, and Whalen actually dropped it. So it's incomplete. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 10. Might be the first 3rd and 10 of the ball game. Here's Monte Vista's season for you. A lot of W's there, Steve.
Yep.
You can see some of the big wins there over Berkeley, 24-10. That big game against California kind of started the run. We saw them against Freedom in week 6 win that game, and then of course they closed. Look at that schedule to close. They beat Foothill, they beat Amador, and they beat San Ramon Valley. That's a big time schedule at the end to go 10-0. Amador knows all about it though, Steve. They were 10-0 last year, 12-0 going into Memorial Stadium in Berkeley. They lost to De La Salle 41-0 in the North Coast Section 4A game, and a timeout on the field.
Yes.
We're going to take a 1-minute break. We'll be right back with all the action.
Great Mexican food, home of the famous margarita, and fun and food in a festive environment. That's Celia's of Antioch. For over 30 years, Celia's has served specialties like fajita supreme, camarones a la ranchera, and other great Mexican food that has brought people from around the area to eat. Every Thursday night is live music from Trio and Saturday night mariachis. That's Celia's of Antioch for great Mexican food. Since 1980, Fresky Air Systems Incorporated has been keeping Contra Costa cool and comfortable. With an expert crew of technicians and staff, let Fresky be your indoor comfort professionals. Our Lennox Signature home comfort systems are designed to deliver efficient and economical air and heat for your individual needs. Air conditioning to heating, duct cleaning to emergency service calls, Fresky has you covered. From the homeowner to the commercial world, Fresky Air Systems Incorporated. Reliable and trusted service since 1980.
Back at Monte Vista High School, you see Coach Bergman leaving the field there. You know, Coach Bergman went to San Jose State.
Yep.
Excuse me. He coached at San Jose State for 5 years. Went to Santa Clara, played quarterback. Went to Arizona State, played with Tom Tolbert. And Sean Elliott was a Final Four participant on that great Wildcat team down there. Excuse me, Sun Devil team down there. Or Wildcat. You know, Steve, I don't know where I am tonight. I'm not having it for some reason. I had all this great stuff prepared, and for some reason it's not like normal. It's not where I wanted it. I don't know what to say. I kind of feel like Amador.
No, that's okay. Let me tell you something. You got me to make you look good, so just stick in there, buddy. You do okay. Dan, you do a great job up here, man. People tell my son goes, where does he get all that information? I go, I don't know.
It's just not flowing tonight for some reason.
But look at that right there. That's a big-time tackle right there by number 32, Dan. Let's give him credit.
That was Satherwaite.
Yeah,
here's the first punt of the ball game.
And it's a good one.
That was a nice kick by Van Mugen. And that's Creighton. Short return back to the 25. It was Arizona, Steve, with Tolbert and Elliott, so that is the Wildcats.
Absolutely.
I don't know why, for some reason, I thought Arizona State. But.
And Dan, on that special teams play, Matt Silva again was in on that. Number 50, 5-0, Dan, my age.
We'll talk about the Amador coaching staff with Coach Rick Sirius, 20th year. He's also the vice principal at Amador.
I got to spend some time with Rich Hansen over there. What a great guy he is.
Here's a handoff to Satherwaite, but he goes nowhere. Banzette was there. Banzette's made a couple of big plays on defense. And, you know, I wonder, Steve, at one point you would think, does the familiarity play a role? Because they just played 2 weeks ago. They prepared just 2 weeks ago.
Well,
or is it hurting a team or helping a team? It's obviously helping one and hurting the other.
Well, Dan, you know what I think happened is that you're at home. You know, you got a great coaching staff. The other staff on the other side obviously is a good coaching staff. But what we see from Bergman, then when they see somebody and they play him again, they usually make a lot of adjustments.
Well, remember 3 years ago they played that great 46-44 game against San Ramon here. When they played him in the Coliseum, it was a totally different game.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Now, I believe that was Andujar for the first time.
Well, that was Andujar. He got missed.
It was Tyler Andujar.
And he got met by Mr. Costanzo and Mr. number 72, Banzett.
Again, Anthony Banzett.
Now, look at these two guys right here. How is it? Look at this. This is kind of like moving the Berlin Wall. It's going to take you a few years. You know, you're not just going to do it overnight. Not one shot. You got to like chip at it with a little thing. And, okay, got you now.
Very good. 3rd and 12. I don't know what the answer is for Amador, Steve. They obviously know what to do. They scored 27 points against these guys last time with a lot of big plays. Now they're going to try a little option pass. They swing it back, and it was nearly intercepted as that was thrown up for grabs. Back to the quarterback. Quady was there defensively, and once again, Amador 3 and out. And they right now just don't have an answer for Monte Vista on either side of the ball.
Well, Dan, you know what I think they're doing? They're going to their bag of tricks and everything right now early, and nobody's biting on nothing. I think they need to just kind of go, okay, you know what? Let's go back to our original game plan, no matter how long it takes off the clock. Let's start running it, do some smash mouth, and let's try to stay away from the middle and maybe do some sweeps and pitches and stuff. And let's see how that gets us, because you're not going to run up the middle on these guys.
I think it's Whalen at midfield. That's one thing about when you watch like a pro game. Those little shoulder numbers, they help. They help a lot.
Yeah.
Paper's the punter, I know that. And a fair catch called for by Whalen. It was at the 45. Down to Tony Schultz.
Let's take a look back, guys, and a great game. 2002, San Ramon against Monte Vista. Now San Ramon scores late in that ball game to take the lead, but then it's Kyle Wright to Sam Desaw to seal sweet victory for Monte Vista, and what a great game it was.
Well, that play right there, that was the play.
Prior.
40, I believe at that point, Steve, that made the score 44-40. Right. Now here's the pass that won that game. And that was probably the greatest high school game I've ever seen. As you can see now, Vacalin is rumbling and bumbling and stumbling down inside Amador territory to the 42-yard line. Gain of 13 and a first down. Anyway, some of the characters there. Keller's at Arizona State, one of the top passers in the Pac-10. Kyle Wright is at the University of Miami.
Yes, sir.
And he's having a great year. He's really come into his own here the last couple of weeks.
Last few weeks, he's really done a great job.
And Sam Desaw is at Cal.
That's right. And I want to say hello to Kathy and Ken Wright, his mom and dad here.
Oh, my.
Now, that is running into a wall.
For those of you that we don't do a lot of games over here, that was Kerrigan, and he IHOPed him, Steve, or pancaked him.
Whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I like the way you call that IHOP. But I want to say hello to Kathy and Ken Wright. Last time they were here. Now, watch this here, Dan. Look at that. Oh. You know, I'm probably going to be sore watching that tomorrow.
I'm sore watching it now.
What's this? Oh. Whoa.
57 yards, 10 carries. This is Vacalin in motion.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
And a good defensive play. So Amador's defense is stiffened up here in the second quarter.
Ricky Isabel on that, number 2, Dan.
And they drop McAllister for a loss. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 12 here in the second quarter. 24-0 Monte Vista.
And you know, Dan, the thing about it is right now, if you really look at the way this game's been going, Monte Vista has been playing with a half a field. And Amador, they really haven't got nothing going, but Monte Vista's been playing with a half a field the whole game, from the 50 and on in, Dan, 50, 55. And their field position has been fantastic, so, and they've capitalized on that.
3rd and 12. McAllister to throw, deep drop this time. And he's in trouble, and he's going to run. And he gets a couple, baby back to the original line of scrimmage. Thomas was there. Howe was there for Amador. It's going to bring up a 4th down punting situation. So twice now Amador's held them. They now need to do something offensively to have any hope here in the second half.
Let's watch right here. Big number 38 stops.
You saw Costanzo. He said, you know what, if you can't complete a pass, I'm going to tackle you.
There you go.
He said, get out. You know him, he's the king. He runs this whole squad.
Well, gosh. He'd be the king of my house. I'll be cooking him eggs and bacon, whatever he wants.
Van Mugen on to kick. The punt from the 42-yard line.
Nice punt.
Yeah, he's a good kicker.
Beautiful kick.
That ball goes into the end zone. Touchback. Amador will take over from their 20 with 6:32 to go in the first half. 24-0 Mustangs. There's Lito's Barbershop. You know all these guys, Steve.
There's Lito, and there's Jerry Alvarez, and there's David down at the other end. For all your fades. See, they get fades there, Dan.
Is that what that's called?
Kind of like a fade to the corner, but they fade their head.
They fade their head.
Okay. And that's Lito's cousin. That's
George Steinbrenner.
Yeah, and I told Lito, yeah, he looks a lot like you. I can see the resemblance. Pantel's Pioneer Kicker Auto Sales. They have Kenwood Boston, everything you need there, buddy. They'll take care of you, the Pantel brothers. 407G.
That's Gonkoff, his first carry. Now, you know, they run the fly offense at Amador. Now, I remember back a few years ago, I'm going back maybe 10, 15 years ago, I remember seeing them play Pittsburgh down there. And they used to do all these funny fake, it used to be like 900 handoffs, fake handoffs. It's a little bit more disciplined now. A guy coming around in motion, maybe a handoff, maybe a fake here. There's always a guy in motion in their offense, but it's the fly, and Coach Sears ran it for a number of years down there, Steve.
And that's the Monte Vista band that was in there, Dan.
We're going to talk a little bit about their coaching staff after this play, Steve. Short gain, 2nd and 9. Glennon is in trouble, and he's sacked. I think he slipped himself. But Van Zett, I'll tell you what, Van Zett's vying for the player of the game on defense right now, along with Walker.
You know, not only that, they're saying, look, Costanzo's out of here next year. We need you to be what he's doing. So I want you to eat, lift weights. And watch this. It's just, right now it's like a, what do they call it when the sharks all get together, Dan, and they just go crazy? It's
a feeding frenzy.
It's a feeding frenzy. That's what it is. I couldn't think of it. It's a red feeding frenzy.
Minus 12 yards. I was going to say, I know the Sharks that I've been watching lately are not in any sort of feeding frenzy.
Yeah.
Good point. Minus 12 yards total offense for Amador here in the first half. Here's a handoff. Another new back. They're trying everyone. BJ Concepcion comes in the ball game, runs for about 5, but it's going to bring up 4th down in a punting situation.
But see, Dan, that's what I recommend him to do right off the gate, right there. I'll keep doing that. Run away from Costanzo in the middle. Try to go to the side. Like right here. There's a nice little gain right there. You're going to pick about 6 or 7 yards. But right now, Dan, it's just kind of steamrolling them all at once, you know?
Steve, the last time these two teams played, just, you know, rushing, what Guillory had 131 yards rushing, Andujar had 106.
Yeah.
That's 237 yards rushing between those two guys.
Right.
Here's the kick. And a fair catch called for by Whalen once again, and they'll take over. I'm just looking at some of these stats. Also, Glenn had a tough game, 86 yards passing, but they had some big runs in that game. They're not getting them tonight. Go ahead, Steve.
And there's Queen Bee Quilt Shop there at 720 West 2nd Street. There's Bernie to the right. She's Mrs. Queen Bee, and they have a ton of stuff down there. They have classes, stuff you can go quilt with. I joined the Saturday class. Me and Jackson, we're down there every Saturday quilting, and we like it. And there's Go Cycles, Dan, 522 West 2nd Street, for all your helmet and accessories, everything. They got the biggest helmet accessory in Northern California for all you Harley Davidson riders and all you tough guys.
Now, Steve, I don't know if something's wrong with McAllister or not, but Chip Tangler is in the ball game at quarterback for the Mustangs. A left-handed thrower. And right off the bat, he goes down the far sideline. It was intended for number 10. That's Luke Langan, and it's incomplete. Now, I'm trying to find out on the sideline if there's anything wrong with McAllister. I don't see anyone in. Nope, he's standing right there. I guess they just wanted to give him some playing time.
He's sitting right there. Now, watch this. Kenny Stabler, Alabama.
Steve Young,
BYU. BYU.
Michael Vick, Virginia Tech.
Boy, I tell you, you just run away with it, don't you? Throw you a little bone, and you just tear it apart.
Bobby Douglas, Chicago Bears.
All right. Go ahead, Dan, do your thing.
Here's a pitch. I think that's Gertz back in the ball game.
That is.
Well, you know, Steve, once again, no, that's Vacaville. When they cover up the 8 and it looks like a 2-0, it could either be, it's not like one of them's 24 and one of them's 20. They'd have to wear the exact number that it's hard to see no matter who has the ball.
This may be Tom Hope. He may came down from Nevada down here to play. His dad went and picked him up. Jeff said, come on, Tom. No, that's Vacaville. Look at that. You know what? And this is what I like. Covers up the ball. He feels the heat coming. Real nice run by Vacaville.
That's what I try to tell people. See how he's carrying the ball over the 8? It looks like an O, but there's nothing on the shoulder, so you can't tell what number he really is. So you just gotta have to guess. Now, I can tell you that this is Vacaville. I guess just here in the second quarter, they're going to run Vacaville, and Vacaville has a first down on a gain of 7. And Monte Vista just having their way here tonight. I would say that Coach Shearer and the coaching staff from Amador cannot be really thrilled with what they've seen out here.
And then look at Vacaville. He just kind of, it looks like he's waiting for his block, and he's not turning up. You know, he doesn't look really fast, but he looks really effective because he waits for his blocks.
Well, you know, Steve, the scary thing is McAllister and Whalen and Gertz are all juniors. We're going to be back here watching these same guys next year. The thing they're going to have to do next year is replace that big line. Here's Tangler.
Incomplete pass.
He throws, the pass is incomplete. I think that was Langan down here in front of us, and it was. So it's going to bring up a second down. But look at the, I can just tell by watching Tangler and Vacaville, there'd be teams that could probably use them, and they'd be the starters, and they're the backups here.
You got Walker coming back, 71. Anthony Banzet, he's coming back. Drew Johnson. All these guys, Dan.
They're going to be great again next year.
And their JVs are always, you know, it's a fantastic program over here. I hate to get political. It's like communist Red China, I think.
You mean all the red?
Yeah, they kind of got a grip on that Europe thing, you know?
Here's Tangler in trouble, and then flushed out of the pocket and sacked by number 45, Zach Andorra. Steve, I've been trying to get this in. Now's a good time.
Okay, go ahead, Dan.
The coaching staff for Amador: Rick Serra, 20th year; Keith Roberts, Rich Hansen, Dan Fenton, Phil Peacock, Steve Jordan. Bob Riddle's the JV coach. He's been there for 18 years. See a quick replay of that sack. Bill Coop is the principal. Lou Cesario, the athletic director in his 5th year. The Dons, the EBAL, last year lost to De La Salle in the final.
And this year their JV team went 10-0. So they got some kids coming up. Steve Riddle, Chip Becker, and Nick Volto, running back, and James Peters.
Tangler throws, 3rd down, has Langen. Langen has a 1st down. Langen's down near the 10-yard line and knocked out of bounds on the far sideline by number 6, Brett Lewis. 1st down once again. Doesn't matter, first team, second team. The Mustangs are on the move here in the second quarter.
But you know, Dan, Coach Riddle, he went to Redwood City, and that's where he graduated from high school. And these other guys, I got to talk to them a little bit, Dan, and they all, not like me, they graduated from high school. They got a diploma.
I saw your diploma.
I know you did.
You had to pay for it, but I saw it.
It's all right. I got writing on it, so you know.
1st down, just inside the 10. Pitch to Vacalin. And Vacalin is dropped for a loss of 2. Gonkoff was there with Hoyer and also Satterwhite. Going to bring up a 2nd down. Now, here's some names you might remember. You were talking about Rick Kane, who went to Amador. Here's
Amador. Detroit Lion. Go ahead.
Little replay of this, Steve, and good defensive pressure that time.
I knew Rick Kane. I played against Rick Kane.
Scott Peters went to Amador. He was an Arizona State athlete, drafted by the Eagles, now with the Panthers. Junior Adams went to Oregon State's the receiver coach at Montana State. Danny Jones is the quarterback at Cal Lutheran. And Mark Brogna is the tight end. Or Bragna, excuse me, is the tight end at Dartmouth. That's a tough school to get into.
Well, you got to be smart.
For me and you, right? Tangler to throw into the end zone. Has a receiver. It's off the hands of Ryan Whalen. It looked like Whalen almost was trying to set that one up with like a volleyball tip or something.
Well, he did, and you know the thing about it was he kind of held it up a little bit. But, and here you go, Dan. Oh boy, tried to catch it with his hands, and he got it. It was kind of thrown that way, but.
Tangler, though, has a nice touch as well, left-handed. Kind of shows you a different look. Laid that one up there right in the hands, but that would have been a tough catch either way with that sideline over there. So, Steve, it's 3rd down from the 13, and they need to score a touchdown.
You really think they need to?
Well,
I know what you're saying.
I'm sure Amador doesn't think that. Pass into the middle of the field. This is the tight end, Sweeney. Touchdown. Little quick hit right to the middle. The tight end we always say is open in high school football. He was that time. 30-0 Monte Vista.
That's the Dan and Steve pop. That's what they call that. Because me and you always talk about the Dan and Steve pop. Tight end over the middle. You beat one guy, you got 6. And what are you doing in here, Jackson? My God. Comes in here like he owns the place. but anyway, Dan, we're seeing a little bit of everything now.
Van Mugen on, extra point attempt. Kick is up. Kick is good. 31-0. I doubt if Amador's been on this side of this kind of score, Steve, in the last couple of years.
No.
Actually, the last time they were on a score like this is when they played De La Salle. Now that is where Monte Vista wants to be headed. They want to be playing De La Salle in the Coliseum.
Absolutely.
On Comcast on December 3rd. There's another look at it. Sweeney fought his way in. Very nice. Touchdown for Monte Vista. And here's another look from down low, Steve, and you can see that was just a nice little hit.
Nice little play. And Sweeney right there covers up the ball like a good tight end should do whenever they get around that red zone. They put 2 hands over it, Dan, kind of like that hot pocket that my son takes from me all the time.
Every time. Steve.
Can we give Jackson?
No, you can't. He's our stat guy. Sorry. Okay.
The Williams Company.
There you go.
For all your real estate needs, go see Sidney Williams and Stephanie Harris. They're at the corner of 2nd and G. You've been around town, Dan. You've seen all them Green Williams Company signs up. She's got retail, everything for business, commercial, everything. Go ahead, Dan.
Fitness 19 for $19 a month, where you can afford to be fit in Walnut Creek.
I'm out.
Last week you were in.
No, I'm still in.
Okay. Monte Vista to kick once again. Van Mugen's been very busy.
Yes,
He's the all-league kicker. This time it's a short kick, and it goes out of bounds on the far sideline. Amador, well, at least this might be the best field position they've had all night. Purchase your copy of this game, UPS shipping included, $25. Call 933-6264 or send us an email at gameoftheweek@comcast.net. I was just going to mention, next week we'll have another playoff game for you, Steve. We could be at De La Salle, we could be at Ignacio Valley, or which would be at Mount Diablo. And if Bill Kolb of the Contra Costa Times is correct, and all the seeds lose in 3A,
yes,
there's Clayton Valley and San Ramon still sitting out there,
there
too.
You go.
But that would require all the top seeds to lose in the 3A bracket.
Right.
So check the Contra Costa Times next week. We'll have a game for you. Here's Andujar, and he got out of the big out of the way of the big paws of David Rudberg over there. You know, Rudberg, I think, could play somewhere as well, Steve. Here's the 3A bracket. Hayward and San Ramon playing tonight. Now, Bill Kolb has predicted that the lower seed, which is San Ramon, Clayton Valley, Granada, and I believe Irvington, will win, and next week you'll have 5, 6, 7, and 8 still alive in the 3A bracket.
Okay.
If he predicts that, I'm going to go on a limb and say he's the greatest high school prognosticator of all times.
Okay. I think he's just a good writer. I read him.
Oh, he does a great job. Times does a great job covering high school football.
Yes, they do.
Glenn in trouble again and sacked for a short loss. I see Costanzo over there like the leading the herd, and the rest of the herd is laying on top of the quarterback.
Number big 71 was in on that on a Vista.
It's Walker and
Fred
Van
Walker.
Zett. It's almost like, you're right, they know Costanzo can do it. Right. Tonight, Walker and Van Zett have really stepped up their game.
I met Fred Walker one night and really had a trouble driving after I got
no,
talking to Fred.
That was not Fred Walker.
Was it?
You had trouble driving? No. We won't go into that on a family program.
Right there. Hey, Mazay Pontiac GMC. They're located in Pittsburgh's Auto Row. 685-1813. Go see Andy Anello there, Dan. You know Andy. He's been selling GMCs there forever.
Now, there's some legends. There's Dale Newhouse, Coach Bergman, and Coach Malnick, and Roger Fernando. And now Acalanes is playing tomorrow. They are playing Bishop O'Dowd tomorrow, Steve. I believe that is at Bishop O'Dowd.
Yes, it is.
It's at 1 o'clock. Yeah,
1 o'clock.
And Roger Fernando's an assistant coach at Acalanes. He's an insurance agent in San Ramon, right over here.
Does a great job selling insurance over there, and does a great job coaching the kids, too.
That's right. So
that guy does double duty.
A timeout on the field here. 31-0 Monte Vista. Third down for Amador. 3rd and 9.
Fernando will even coach your kids and insure them.
Glenn to throw, swing pass, Andujar, and Andujar is going nowhere. I'll tell you, this is a dominating defensive effort by Monte Vista. It's one thing for them to go out and score 38 on you, but they're not giving up anything.
No. And let's watch big number 11 over here. I think it's Brandon Sweeney. Now we're going to see him on defense. He just says, hey, you know what? I can tackle.
And yeah, look who finished that one off. Your buddy, Mr. Walker.
Yeah, our Fred Walker, yeah.
And another.
Look at big 55 walking off the field. Oh, God, I need some water. Look at, wow, he's big, huh, Dan?
He is. Well, they had an article in the Times about him yesterday. It was about big guys that they might consider overweight. He's not considered overweight, though. He's faster than he was when he was younger. He's obviously much bigger than he was. He says, I feel great. But they had a good article in the Times about that, is how these guys are getting so much bigger.
And I use that to my wife and my kids. I go, look, guys, he weighs more than me. They say he's not fat.
But he can move.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the important part.
Right.
So, Steve, a timeout on the field here, 4th down. Now, here's the 2A bracket.
There you go.
Very interesting. Once again, there could be some surprises here. A lot of people think El Cerrito is a lot better than a 6-4 team.
Yep.
There's a very good possibility if Ignacio Valley and Acalanes play next Friday night at Mount Diablo, or even Bishop O'Dowd. You saw Lewis Arnold, where he had like 2,800 yards rushing.
Right.
We could do that game. Miramani is a team we also look forward to. Perhaps down the line, if the 1 and 2 seeds play out, we could do Ignacio and Miramani on December 2nd, 2 weeks from tonight, from Los Lomas High School. They fake the punt here, and they're going to finally get a first down. This is the biggest play of the game so far for Amador. Number 26, that's John Gonkoff with the fake punt around left end, and he gets a first down, Steve.
This was a fake punt, fake Statue of Liberty, fake Statue of Liberty.
Watch it right here.
Right it up. Watch all this mess here. Here, he's going to put this on, between his legs. He fakes it that way. He goes to the left. That's a great call.
22 yards and a first down. The first down of the game for Amador from the 40. Glenn will throw. He's in trouble again, and he just throws that one away. And that was very close to grounding. And once again, Fred Walker. And I think Walker and Van Zett saw Costanzo go to the movies.
Right.
Knowing the player of the game gets some tickets, he said, let's try to get some tickets tonight.
I'm going to go see Saul, too, because I'm really scared.
And I walked the line about Johnny Cash.
That's right.
And it's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which sounds like a song by Iron Maiden, doesn't it?
Goblet of fire.
I thought if they ever did a Johnny Cash show, that Mr. Ed should have been Johnny Cash.
Well, have you ever seen him in the same photo?
No.
I never have.
I never have seen Mr. Ed and Johnny Cash together.
My name is Johnny Cash.
There you go.
Little swing pass this time. That's Creighton, and Creighton gains 4. Timeout, 17 seconds to go. Amador just hoping, trying anything here to try to get some points on the board. They have just got to be shell-shocked in this one, Steve.
And you know, Dan, you can look on over here at the defense here, and it's just unbelievable. You look at these guys, who ain't in on this play? I mean, you got so many guys. Rudberg, Banzet, Costanzo, Walker, Silver, Sweeney, Ornelas, Langland. Who haven't we called? We've called everybody on that defense.
Well, think about this too, Steve. Here you are. You've lost 3 games.
Yeah.
You've only lost 4 in the last 2 years.
Okay.
And they've been to De La Salle, and then this year, California, Foothill, Monte Vista. They lost by 5 to California, who's the 4A seed number 4, playing at home tomorrow night, to Foothill, who's the 5 seed. They lost by 2 touchdowns last week at Foothill, and they lost by 3 to Monte Vista. And you're losing 31-0 before halftime.
Yeah,
you just got to be shaking your head. What went wrong here tonight for them? Now here's the EBAL standings overall. And we just mentioned, look at all these teams. There's the teams in front of them.
Right.
And also Granada and San Ramon are not throwaway teams in there as well. 6 out of 7 teams made the playoff.
And in my eyes, that's the best league in the Bay Area.
I agree.
You're kidding me.
I know it's a shock.
Jeez. Wow.
Glenda throw, and now running for his life. Here comes Costanzo. And he throws, and it's incomplete.
And there's a late flag down here. I think you're going to get roughing the passer or something out of here on the side here, Dan. Let's see what they got. I mean, there's 10 seconds left on the clock, Dan. Let's fix this mess up. Go ahead, Dan.
That was intended for Andujar, and it is roughing the passer.
Yeah,
you know, if Costanzo would have hit him as hard as he was coming, he'd have knocked him out to Stone Valley Road.
Yes, he would have. Now watch this. Now here comes
Look at Costanzo. Now, if he hits him right here, you can forget it.
Well, I would have thrown the ball early, too.
Passer, defense.
That's a real
automatic first down.
That's a real close call, though, Steve.
Is.
I mean, that was within 1 step of the throw, and that's about what you do. But you know what? If they're trying to protect the kids, if that's the impetus behind that call, I can't blame him. 10 seconds to go after the penalty. Amador will have the ball.
What do you do here, Dan? 10 seconds to go.
I'd go to the end zone.
Would you? You only got it. I think you're going to have I tell you one thing. They got a real good kicker, Dan.
Yeah, Papura.
Papura can really kick the ball well. I'd like to see him get on the board. I'll take one shot in the end zone, and then I'll do a field.
And he makes our nickname list, Michael the Color of Papura.
Ooh.
From the 21-yard line. Amador trying to get on the board here in the first half. Glenn in trouble again. Look at, oh, wow, nice block. Costanzo throws.
That's a catch.
Has a receiver, knocked out of bounds. That's Nick Guillory. He's out of bounds at the 13. And now the call, with 2 seconds, you have one play. Do you go for the touchdown, you go for the field goal? Watch this block right here. Coming over here, Costanzo got leveled. One of the big linemen there. I think it was number 55. Daniel McVeigh threw a nice block, and man, can you imagine leveling Costanzo?
Well, he's a kid. I mean, you know, he's going to dominate 9% of the time. It's not like he can't be blocked. I just don't know anybody who could do it. But
well,
he just got blocked on a play going downfield. The ball was away from him. He was running. And
are you saying if he's not looking, you might have a chance?
Yeah, if he's looking the other way, you can block him. How's that?
Steve, you're a genius. You really are.
Yeah. Well, if he's got his head turned,
your own fan club in front of us.
Well, if he's got his head turned, you can block him.
So they're going to go for the field goal, Steve. 32 yards. Papura, Hoyer is the holder, and Amador just trying to get on the board here. They do get the ball to start the second half of play.
Yeah. See, I think it's important that they score, Dan.
Snap. It's down. The kick is up, and it's no good. Not even close.
No.
And that'll do it. Dominating half for the Mustangs of Monte Vista, 31-0 here as we head to halftime. We'll be back to wrap up the first half with stats and highlights after this break on Comcast.
Hi, I'm Rocco Bialy, and this is my family.
I'm Dante. I'm Dominic. And I'm Nina.
For the past 5 years, Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria has been the proud sponsor of the Comcast High School Game of the Week. As a neighborhood restaurant, being part of our community has been very important to my family and staff. I'd like to personally invite you to become part of our family. Great pizza, great pasta, and great people. Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, a part of your community.
Tonight's Comcast Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from the dentistry offices of Keith White and Brett Annoni, DDS. Keith White and Brett Annoni have been serving Central Contra Costa County for years with a personal commitment to their patients in uncompromising dental care with an atmosphere of comfort and experience. With state-of-the-art sterilization techniques and equipment, which includes digital x-rays, their staff of highly trained professionals will make your every visit one you'll look forward to in the future. That's Keith White and Brett Annoni, DDS and staff. State Farm agent Roger Fernando, located in the Crow Canyon Commons Shopping Center in San Ramon. When a coach understands the player's strengths, developing a winning strategy is easy. That's also true with State Farm agent Roger Fernando. Roger knows your insurance and financial situation isn't exactly like anyone else's. But like a great coach, Roger and his team of professionals create a strategy to meet your individual needs. See State Farm agent Roger Fernando and his team at 3211A Crow Canyon Place in San Ramon. The 19th Hole Casino at West Tregallis Road. Established in 1967, the 19th hole has been completely renovated. Open 7 days a week, they feature Texas Hold'em, No Bust 21 Blackjack, Lowball, High-Low Split, Pai Gow, and provide Keno and lottery sales. Every Tuesday and Wednesday beginning at 5:30 p.m., it's a no-limit Texas Hold'em shootout with winner-take-all. Friday and Saturday night is karaoke at 9 p.m., and Sunday at 9 a.m. is the NFL ticket on all the 14 TVs. And come play in the Sunday no-limit Texas Hold'em tournament. That's the 19th hole behind the post office in Antioch. Make big messes no longer a problem. Experience the difference in a real professional. Randy's Carpet Care. Improve your indoor living to a clean, healthy environment. IICRC certified master cleaning specialist in carpet, upholstery, odor control, and stain removal. Owner-operator and family friendly. Call today to reserve your spot. Randy's Carpet Care. We exist to serve you. Call 925-518-1088. Bridgehead Self-Storage of Antioch, located behind Kmart off Highway 4 and East 18th Street. Bridgehead Self-Storage has from 5x6 to 10x40 24-hour security units for those extra things you just can't fit in the garage anymore. RV and boat storage spaces are also available, along with packing and moving supplies. That's Bridgehead Self-Storage of Antioch, behind Kmart off Highway 4. The new Mecca Cafe on Railroad Avenue in downtown Pittsburgh. Serving Contra Costa and beyond for over 30 years. Eat in or order to go. Guillermo and his crew cook with pride. Rock Bottom Records in Antioch. We buy and sell used DVDs and CDs 7 days a week. Listen to any compact disc in the store in one of our in-store listening stations. Special order millions of discs or DVDs on the Muse on our in-store computer that can find just about any release on Earth. T-shirts, posters, blacklights, stickers, and one of the biggest selections of cassettes anywhere. This year celebrating our 25th year anniversary. Antioch Opticians Glasses and Contact Lenses in the Rayleigh Shopping Center on Lone Tree Way in Antioch. Since 1973, Antioch Opticians has carried over 3,000 frames to meet your special needs and repair broken frames. They have their own in-house laboratory for fast, accurate service. 1-hour service in most cases. That's Antioch Opticians, 3714 Lone Tree Way in Antioch. Thanks again to all of our friends from the Comcast Game of the Week.
I got one! Quick, reel it in! Hey, look, it's already marinated.
No, it's dead, and it's covered with oil and grime. And you don't marinate fish.
It's dead, but why?
Because of that guy. He's dumping his used oil and filter on the ground next to the delta.
Look, here comes Mr. Funnelhead to save the delta.
No, the world.
Hey, stop that! Don't you know that by dumping your used oil and filters into the delta, you're destroying our water supply? Too many gallons of used oil and sewage have already contaminated our waters. And even though the average used oil filter looks empty, it still contains up to a cup of used motor oil. Take your used oil and filters to a certified used oil recycling center where they can properly recycle the oil and filter for a better tomorrow. Call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out our website at www.funnelhead.com.
Looking for quality equipment rental with a helpful, friendly staff? Hertz Equipment Rental of Pacheco has over 4,100 pieces of reliable equipment to choose from, ready for delivery. Or if you're looking to purchase equipment, check out our pre-owned equipment sales list for super bargains on well-maintained pre-owned equipment. With Hertz, you have the right tool to get the job done. That's Hertz Equipment Rental at their new location, 30 South Buchanan Circle in Pacheco. Call Hertz today, 925-680-0316.
What is a coach? A teacher, a motivator, a leader, the person who sees your athletic potential and maximizes it, regardless of the sport. At Velocity Sports Performance, you train with a highly qualified coach every time you train. Your coach makes you work hard, but your coach makes you a better athlete. Train with a coach who knows. Velocity Sports Performance. Maximize your potential. We guarantee it.
Is your laptop or home computer driving you crazy? Paramount Technology of Concord has the answers. Located behind Tower Records in Concord, Paramount Technology has it all. Quick in-house laptop repair and servicing, mobile computer service calls, and great customer service for those wishing to have a computer made to your specifications. Your computer wizards with expert service and products for today's computer world. That's Paramount Technology of Concord at 1252 Diamond Boulevard in Concord, the computer wizards of Contra Costa.
Dan Wall back at Monte Vista High School. The halftime score in a shocker. The Monte Vista Mustangs 31 and the Amador Dons nothing. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half of play here. Here's that first touchdown. This was a nice play, and I want to apologize to Mr. Whalen. I mistakenly identified Ryan Whalen here as Russ Noe, who came in late on that picture. But there's the first touchdown of the game. Here's another look at it from down low. That was a 30-yard pass. Great play by McAllister to get outside of the pressure and find Whalen in the end zone for the touchdown, and that made it 7-0 early on their first drive of the ballgame. The second touchdown was a beautiful play. He kind of likened it to the play in the Chiefs-Raiders game. That play was to a running back. This is to the wide receiver, Whalen. He makes all the right moves to get outside, and another touchdown, and at that time after the extra point, 14-0. Here's another look at it from down low, but a great move to get outside of one of the defenders, and another nice juke move here. Good block down the field from Langen, sprung him, and it was 14-0 Monte Vista in the first quarter. It would become 16-0 when this snap punt goes through the hands of the punter, Papura for Amador. And at that point now 16-0 Monte Vista. And then here's Mr. Gertz. All in the first quarter. That's a 5-yard run down here, 24-0. Amador's defense would stiffen a couple of times, and then they would score here on a pass to Sweeney, 11 yards from Tangler, who was in at quarterback in the second quarter. The left-hander here, another look at it. 11-yard pass to number 11, Sweeney. 31-0. Amador would miss a field goal. They only had 2 first downs in the first half. Here's a look at the stats, all dominated by Monte Vista. As you can see, first downs, just 2 for Amador, 10 for the Mustangs, 210 total yards to 62. Not a lot of penalties, a pretty clean game, and only 1 turnover for Monte Vista. Individually, Gertz has 41 yards rushing. McAllister is 6 of 12 for 111 and 2 touchdowns. And reception-wise, Whalen, 3 for 86 and 2 TDs. The big 3 for Monte Vista, getting it done here. About 6 minutes to go here in the halftime, and we'll be back with the third quarter. When we come back, it's 31-0 Monte Vista at halftime from Danville.
Tonight's Comcast Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Amaros's Antique and Floral in Antioch, located at 204 G Street in the Old Rivertown District of Antioch. Amarosas specializes in fresh flowers for weddings and special events with a large variety of gift items such as French soaps and candles, French jewelry, tea sets, and more. Come by today and let Amarosas find that special gift for that special someone. That's Amarosas Antique and Floral in the historic Rivertown District of downtown Antioch. Looking for a car or truck but having trouble getting approved credit? Let Diablo Auto Sales of Antioch find that perfect vehicle that fits your every need. With great customer service, selection, and a qualified sales staff, Diablo Auto Sales of Antioch can make your next car a reality. Se habla español. That's Diablo Auto Sales of Antioch at 1006 West 10th Street in downtown Antioch. The dentistry offices of Jeffrey Hogue, DDS. Jeffrey Hogue, DDS, and his staff has been serving East County for years with a personal commitment to their clients in uncompromising dental care with an atmosphere of comfort and experience. With state-of-the-art sterilization techniques and equipment, their staff of highly trained professionals will make your every visit one you'll look forward to in the future. That's Jeffrey Hogue, DDS, and staff at 5201 Deer Valley Road, Suite 3A in Antioch. There are two types of airsoft players, the well-equipped and the targets. GamePod Combat Airsoft provides one of the largest selections of airsoft inventory in the U.S. From beginners to advanced players, GamePod has it all. Specializing in competition-grade airsoft guns and accessories, BDUs, hydration systems, accessories, night vision, and the all
Buick GMC.
food.
Back at Monte Vista High School, I want to remind you, don't forget, in a couple of weeks at the Oakland Coliseum, the 3A and 4A championships. I'm going to show you a little promo here before we get ready to bring you third quarter action.
Let's go. Get out.
Come enjoy the great high school football action at the North Coast section Les Schwab Tires 2A, 3A, 4A East Bay Football Championships. The 2A championship game will be held December 2nd at 7:30 p.m. at Las Lomas High School, and the 3A and 4A championships will be held December 3rd at the Oakland Alameda County McAfee Coliseum at 4 p.m. and 7:15 p.m. See the best local high school football athletes from the East Bay. High school football at its best. Come on out and support educational athletics.
Back at Monte Vista High School, Tony Schultz has a guest for us, and we're going to send it down to him in just a second. 31-0 Monte Vista here at halftime. Dan Wall and Steve Sanchez with Matt Bolender, Dave Jackson on stats tonight, our great Comcast crew. And Tony is getting into position, and he is ready now, and we're going to send it to Tony with a guest.
I'm with Sandy Malnick, one of the Monte Vista assistants, and coach, this offense has been rolling all year long. What separates them from everybody else?
Well, we've had some really fine athletes. We're really big and strong up front, and we got quality receivers, 2 good running backs, and 2 excellent quarterbacks, and a great coaching staff.
Yeah, right now, nobody seems to be able to stay close to you guys. Now, the defense has been overshadowed a little bit, but you've got to be happy with their performance in that first half.
I think that we've held them to minus yards total offense in the first half. So, yeah, we are extremely happy with them. In fact, my son is a defensive coordinator, so I couldn't be more happy.
Coach, thank you very much. Yeah, guys, it's been a dominating performance for Monte Vista on both sides of the football. Look for more of it here in the second half.
Thanks, Tony. You know, Coach Malnick is in his 9th year here at Monte Vista, coached at San Francisco State, Diablo Valley College, Concord, Mount Diablo, and Northgate, and he played at San Francisco State. His son, Steve, is in his 8th year. He played at Sac State. So what a great coaching staff they have here, Steve, with Chris Babcock out of Chico State in his 9th year. He's been at Monte Vista since '97. And, of course, Craig Bergman. There's some of the San Leandro folks here tonight watching this game. Now, the winner tomorrow night, they will play Pittsburgh. Now, remember, Steve, they beat Pittsburgh 35-7 in Week 1. As a matter of fact, 3 of the 4A games are repeat games. The only game that hasn't happened is De La Salle. Here's the bracket. De La Salle hasn't played Logan yet, and Logan's probably saying, thank God for that.
Right.
But these guys played California and Foothill. These guys played Monte Vista and Amador, and these guys played San Leandro and Pittsburgh.
The big difference with Pittsburgh, Taylor didn't play the last time they played. They had about 3 other starters out. That's a completely different Pitt team from the first time they played them. I'm sure San Leandro's got better as the year went along too, but that's an intriguing game.
Now here's what will happen as we move along. If Monte Vista wins and De La Salle wins, De La Salle will play next Friday night at home. Monte Vista will play next Saturday night at home. And if Monte Vista wins, and it looks like a pretty safe proposition right now, they'll play the winner of the San Leandro-Pittsburgh game as long as De La Salle wins. Now, barring some miracle, De La Salle losing tonight, De La Salle would play on Friday and Monte Vista would play on Saturday, right? Okay.
I got you.
Now, if Amador has the greatest comeback in the history of the planet, then they would play at the winner of the Pittsburgh-San Leandro game next week. And if Pittsburgh wins, it would be at Pittsburgh on Saturday night. Now, you follow all that, Steve?
Yeah. Now, when I hit 580, do I go north or south? No,
I thought you were going to say, are we going for pie tonight?
No, you know what? Here's the thing, and there's the Monte Vista cheerleaders, and what a great job they do over here with Karen Pilcher and Sue Rudich, and, you know, they have 68 kids.
Well, and there's that many. I think on the football team, I know there's a lot of kids out here participating in cheer and in the sports out here.
I know one year we came here and they all did a cheer together, and you were like, my God. I remember you just going, Steve.
We're waiting for Amador to come back on the field. Diablo Auto Sales of Antioch on 10th Street.
And they have a lot of great used cars. Go see Matt if you want a new car. Go see these guys if you want a used car, because they got great deals there.
Amorosa Antique and Floral on G Street in the historic Antioch Rivertown District.
People go down Highway 4, hit G Street, take a left and go down and check out Antioch and all the antique shops and the Rivertown tops. Go have the Humphreys and sit down on the water out there and have a drink and a crab cocktail.
Riverfront.
Riverview Lodge. You can sit out there, right?
Lodge. Rocco's Restaurant and Pizzeria. If you're in a mood for pizza, they've got great pizza. Pepperoni pizza, spectacular. Here come the Dons back onto the field.
And minestrone soup. I can vouch for that minestrone soup.
Minestrone soup.
Yes, they do.
Brendan Theaters in Concord and Pittsburgh. Now, you mentioned Saw 2. I walked the line with Joaquin Phoenix, Reese Witherspoon. They're talking about Oscar nominations for both of these great actors for those roles, playing Johnny Cash and June Carter Cash. And, of course, the new Harry Potter movies out there with a bunch of other stuff. Chicken Little's still out there. Great time to go to the movies as we look forward to the holidays. Hertz Equipment Rental. There's a scissor lift. Thanks for that, guys, out here tonight.
What's the one movie with ice coming up? The guy who's
Ice Harvest.
Ice Harvest
with John Cusack and Billy Bob Thornton. Yes, I want to go to that.
I told my wife,
like
can we go see that? She goes, I don't like that Billy Bob Thornton.
Well, then you can go with me. We'll go see it.
There we go. And you know me, I'll buy the popcorn and everything you can eat. You don't got to buy nothing for food. I got you covered.
Well, you'll have to buy 2 big jugs if I'm going to share it with you.
Oh, no problem. You'll have your own jug.
While we're out here, Steve, I wanted to just mention a couple of the coaches at Amador. Well, let's do our schedule first, then we'll mention some other sports at Amador. There's our winter schedule. We start with a soccer game in a couple of weeks. Ignacio Valley at De La Salle, West Coast Jamboree on the 27th, and then we pick up our regular coverage with De La Salle at Clayton Valley. I just talked to Coach Powers from the Monte Vista boys. He's over here. I said, Coach, you're on the schedule. That's going to be a great game. Monte Vista at San Ramon Valley, last game of the season, February 24th.
One of the great spots to be in basketball for high school sports. You kids, are you people out here who've never been to a good high school basketball game? Go to that one.
If you can get in.
Well, if you can get in, but you want to talk about enthusiasm and school spirit and stuff, that's where it's happening.
At Amador, Lou Cesario is the athletic director. He's also the baseball coach. Don Underwood has been the basketball coach there since I can remember. He had a great team back in the early 90s that went all the way to the state championships in Division II with Steve Fleming, Bob Hall, and Brett Lang. And every guy you ask about that, you remember that team? Oh, yeah, what a great team.
They were phenomenal.
They played Artesia, lost by a point. Remember the O'Banions? They went to Artesia.
That's right, they did.
Eddie O'Banion played that game.
You bring back memories to me sometimes. It's scary, Daniel. You really do. Where do you pull this stuff up out of?
It just comes.
There you go.
It starts
it's a gift.
It is.
And there's big Coach Bergman.
Another coach over there, Doug Vanderhorst. He's the current girls coach. He's had some great players. Mia Fisher, Ashley King Bischoff, and his daughter, Sarah Vanderhorst, just signed with a school. You know, I can't remember everything, Steve.
No, you can't.
She's going to go on and play at a four-year school. We'll talk about it during the girls' game.
You know it was a school, right, Daniel? She signed with a school. Okay.
Yes.
You know, she can't be signed no pro contracts until she gets out of school, Daniel.
She's not going to the Los Angeles Sparks or anything like that.
Daniel, I talked to the coaching staff on the way out. I went and I seen them. I was getting a cup of coffee, and they said, Steve, we are going to go back to our same game plan. We're going to go through the tackles now. We're not going to run up the middle. We kind of learned our lesson. So we're going to start going off tackles with our runs, and you're going to see us throw the ball. We're going to try to control the ball and keep it out of these guys' hands. It kind of snowballed on us. Does that make sense?
So, you know, I haven't seen this a lot, Steve, but they're calling Amador for a delay of the game. They were late coming back onto the field, unsportsmanlike. And it's a 15-yard penalty. Now, Monte Vista will kick off from the 45-yard line.
Well, then you got to do an onside kick here. I never understood this as long as I've lived. Now, if he kicks it in the end zone, they get it out on the 20, you're picking up, I don't know, because if you get onside it, you're only going to lose 10 yards if you lose it anyway.
I agree.
Okay, that's just my call.
If I'm ever a coach, twice I've agreed with you tonight. So I only have to agree with you three times.
Two versus 976. Steve 2.
Here we go. Finally, the second half underway. 31-0 Monte Vista. Van Mugen will kick off from the 45. Yeah, I was a little curious, Steve, as to why it took Amador so long to get back. I'm sure they had something they wanted to talk about after that first half.
And I'm sure the official they talked to was the wrong guy to talk to. I can tell you that, because, yeah.
And he kicks off and drills it halfway to double.
Okay, yeah, there you go.
So Amador will take over. I think that's the 31-0. We're going to be nice guys kick, is what that is right there.
There you go. And you know, Coach Burger, go ahead, Dan.
Well, I was going to say right now you can purchase your copy of this game. I'm sure the orders will be flooding in from the Monte Vista side.
Yep.
UPS shipping included, $25. Call 933-6264. This game will be shown Saturday and then again on Sunday in our normal region. It's also going to be played next Tuesday and Wednesday down in Livermore and Pleasanton and Dublin.
In the Tri-Valley.
In the Tri-Valley, yes. Thank you very much. Glenn, the quarterback, pitch to Guillory. And Guillory has a blocker out in front. That's one of the few times he's had a blocker in front and made some positive yardage.
So you thought I didn't talk to the coaching staff. What'd they do, Dan?
They went outside the tackle.
And there's going to be a great block here. I don't know if we have it on tape, Dan, but there was a great wipeout block in the backfield. But let's watch it right here. Look at this block. See that? Boom, right there, Dan. And right here, he kind of turns the corner a little bit. Who's that big man out in front?
Well, you know who they did, Steve. They cracked back Satterweight on Banzet.
That's right.
And the man leading the charge was Steve Arroyo.
And Steve Arroyo is 6'3", 220. He looks much bigger now.
Steve, Amador all-league selections, only one on offense, Andujar, we haven't seen a lot of.
No.
Second team all-league selections, Casey Guillory, Daniel McVeigh, and we just saw Steve Arroyo. Glenn to throw, gets hit, throws, it's incomplete.
Yep.
Intended for number 26, excuse me, John Gonkoff.
And the quarterback is very slow getting up, Dan. He just got up to his...
Here's a replay of the
Let's
hit.
see if he gets hit after. Who's number 10? That's Langen?
Yep.
Yep. He did the old helmet right to the chest, Dan. That always hurts you when you get hit right there, boy.
That'll hurt you, Steve.
That'll hurt you when you drill somebody in the chest right underneath that pad. But Dan, I talked to the coaches and I go, hey, you got a bunch of great kids over there on the Amador side. I hope they come back and make a game of it. And they said, well, thanks a lot. I said, well, you got to have good kids over there, right, Dan? They're only 16, 17, and 18.
Handoff inside. That was your typical fly offense pattern.
Yeah.
And you can see Rudberg and some of the usual culprits there. That was Banzet. Throws Guillory back for a loss.
And then
bring up a fourth down.
Yeah, Anthony Banzet came up and said, what whistle? I didn't hear no whistle. Did you blow that thing? But what a great play by Anthony Banzet. He's shown me a lot today. Anthony Banzet and Fred Walker have done a good job along with Costanzo up there on the front. Yeah. Really been impressed with them. And watch it right here. Now, and there is some battling going on. Look at number 71 and 5'5". You just talked about 5'5", Dan. Look at this. It's like, okay. These kids have got heart. That's one thing. This ain't the NFL, then.
4th and 2. Are you saying there's no heart in the NFL?
Well, it depends if you talk to Terrell Owens or McNabb. It depends which one you talk to.
All right. Just checking.
All right.
Prepare to kick.
There's a whole lot of money in it.
From the 28-yard line. And a timeout. And it looks like
they didn't have enough guys on the field.
They didn't have enough guys. They ran a guy off. They're just confused. And you know what I always come out, by this game, you should not be confused on special teams.
But you know, that's true too, Dan. But then all of a sudden, go ahead, Dan, do your friends.
Comcast Game of the Week. Rocco's Ristorani and Pizzeria in Walnut Creek.
Great eating.
Contra Costa Clean Water Program and Mr. Funnelhead.
He'll be up for the Oscars. Mr. Funnelhead will get
that it. Velocity Sports Performance.
Well, you can improve your sport.
Brennan Theaters. We've talked about every movie I think released this year.
They're all out there.
They're all there. Hertz Equipment Rental. Thanks for the scissor lift, guys. Peacock Expressions Gallery. Steve, what were you saying before the break? Do you remember? I didn't think so. Sorry to put you on the spot.
I'm sorry, did you say something?
High kick this time, and a fair catch called. That's Whalen at the 42-yard line. A 30-yard kick, no return. Monte Vista takes over, 10:30 to go, third quarter, 31-0 Mustangs. As I mentioned, Steve, they'll play here next Friday night if De La Salle loses and the sun spins off its axis. They'll play here next Saturday night if De La Salle wins as anticipated. Don't forget this month, Hurricane with Y&T. There's Dave Menichetti. I was sitting right here by like the R. I was in the front row at that show, Steve.
Well, what you could have did is jump up, took that guitar, knocked him out. Nobody would even know he was gone. Because he does look a little bit like you.
A little bit. First down. Tangler's still in the ball game. And a handoff to Vacalin, and he's straight ahead for about 4. And at this point right now, you know, maybe because it's a rivalry game, Greg Bergman looks like he's going to stick with some of his backups and not risk any injury to Gertz or to McAllister.
And you know what, Dan, it's not even about that. He wants to get the kids experience, the younger kids. You know, you got to realize that's the way Coach Bergman's not really into rubbing it into nobody's nose. You know, he feels like we pretty much got this. I want to get somebody experience. You got to realize you're going to come back and play next year. This is a playoff game. This is experience.
Hand off to Vacalin again. Vacalin breaks for a first down, breaks another tackle, and dives ahead to the 42-yard line.
And I'll tell you right now, Dan, if Colin Hoyer doesn't make that shoestring tackle right there, let's watch where he gets him here. 5, watch this. Just kind of trips him. Well, he would have had a chance. He had a blocker in front. But right here, it's just, this is what he does. Vacalin, I really like him. Now, Gertz is a little bit more quicker when he gets in the secondary, but Vacalin is very effective, Daniel.
Yes, very. 13-yard gain, first down. Whalen in motion. Tangler hands off again to Vacalin, and Vacalin breaks outside, breaks a tackle. Vacalin still on his feet. Down inside the 25, tackled at the 23 by Hoyer. And another first down, Steve, on a gain of 20.
And Dan, I'll tell you what a great kick-out block, Dan, by Walker or Rudberg. I'd like to see that again. Oh, we missed it. I'll sit here looking on the thing. Let's watch the kick-out. 57. Look at that. Yep. Nice kick-out block right there,
Dan.
Dan.
Of course, that was neither of the guys. That was Seroy.
It was who, Dan?
John Seroy.
Well, let's give him quadues. Is it 57?
You know, you could have just said on the line, and then you would have been right.
Oh, I want to give the kid credit. Who was it?
John Seroy.
Okay, John Seroy. Great job. Great kick-out. Got his name mentioned 9 times for making one kick-out block.
There you go. First down. Long snap count.
No, they're going to call that back. They got a flinch on the right side. Yep. They're going to move that back 5.
That was a long snap count that time.
It was.
Yeah, Steve, look at the cheerleaders. They go from the 35-yard line to almost the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I can see a guy in Monte Vista go, hey, dude, I dated cheerleader. So what? Who doesn't? I know 67 guys. I know 67 other guys who do too. Yeah, there's the movement. I'd love to have Matt get a shot of all these cheerleaders before it goes. There's a little bit of them down there. I'm sure Matt will get it.
I will say, when we were in high school, you had like 5 cheerleaders and 5 song leaders.
5, 10.
The offense, and even the defensive guys didn't get to go out with cheerleaders.
700 kids.
They got a cheerleader for every player here.
Jeez. Countries have been terminated because of that stuff, guys.
Tangler to throw, has a receiver. Oh, it's just out of the reach of Whalen down at the 5-yard line. Number 21 was running with him, Colin Creighton, and the pass is incomplete.
You know what I like about Tangler? He's only a junior, but you got a sophomore behind you with all the 4 DA, the Division I schools looking at him, and Bergman's throwing him out there going, you know what, you've earned at least this. You know,
that is true.
You know, I mean, he goes, hey, you know, you've been in practice. Probably next year you're going to come back and be a backup to McAllister again. Every chance I get, I'm going to try to get him his time. Well, I think that's great. Is that 3 agrees?
What's that?
Is that 3 agreements on you tonight with me?
Yeah, 3. It's 976 to 3. I'm keeping score.
Thank you, Dan.
2nd and 15. Tangler deep drop this time. Looking, throwing, has a receiver. It's caught by Noe at the 15-yard line. Gain of 13. Just short of the first down, and going to bring up about a 3rd and 2, Steve.
And you know, Dan, if you look at his throws, watch the ball. Every one of his throws are like this. It's kind of weird. It's not a wounded duck, but look at it. It's like a pigeon. It's like a pigeon with a little message he wants to carry to the wide receiver.
It's like a carrier pigeon.
It's a carrier pigeon. But all of his balls have got that. I haven't seen one perfect, but he throws it to where the guy ends up at. And that's the name of the game.
It's like Archie Manning used to throw like that.
That's right.
Not like Peyton.
No.
3rd and short, Vacalin straight ahead and more. And Vacalin inside the 10, tackled at the 6 by number 22, Chase Touré. Steve, they announced their awards back on the 15th here, and the Mark Illarighe Award, as we mentioned earlier from last year. This year, Zach Cadet and Jeff Angus won it, and the 2005 Nick Promessi winner is Russ Noe. So we wanted to congratulate those 2 players.
Congratulate them young men. That Nick Promessi, we really lost him at an early age, and you know, that's a great honor for Noe to get that.
Vacalin has 80 yards on 9 carries, and he gets another carry, and that time he was turned back at the 5. It's going to bring up a 2nd and goal for the Mustangs. They're moving the ball here once again, Steve. 7:20 to go with a 31-point lead.
And Mark Illarege,
yeah.
He was a co-winner with Zach Cadet and Jeff Angus, and that is a big award also. Those are two very big awards that them kids get that they should feel honored.
Absolutely.
Because those were some great kids, and it was tragic what happened, but you know what? As long as they're in your heart, they never go, Dan. That's the way I look at it.
Second down. Pitch to Vacalin. He's got the big side of beef out in front of him, and he's knocked out of bounds near the goal line. I'll tell you, a lot of people, when they look ahead,
right,
and they say, you know, the anticipated matchup in any bracket, as you see another look at it, Steve, is the number 1s and 2s, is they want to see this big line against De La Salle's defensive line.
Absolutely.
That's like one of the matchups a lot of people want to see.
And you know, Dan, I can see why big number 44 for Amador's defense, Dan, Ryan Kerrigan, why he's a first teamer. He brings a load. He can hit you. Not as many times as you hit me up here in the booth, but he can hit you.
Tangler ahead, touchdown. So Tangler from 1 yard out, a quarterback keeper with 6:45 to go, third quarter, 37-0. And I don't think anyone would have predicted this.
No, Dan, you know what? I mean, come on. That's kind of crazy, but you know what? You really feel for them boys over there. But you know what? This is high school. It's a lesson in life. It always happens. Sometimes you get... Yeah, they're still over there. Look at all the wave of blue over there. You know, now that's a great sign right there, seeing that over there.
Van Mugen kicks the extra point. It's good. 38-0. Here's another look at it. This was just a nice drive. Vacalin did most of the work on this drive, Steve.
And Dan, they're going. Oh yeah, absolutely. Right here, he just snuck on in.
We're going to take a quick break after the touchdown. 38-0 Monte Vista.
Come enjoy the great high school football action at the North Coast section Les Schwab Tires 2A, 3A, 4A East Bay Football Championships. The 2A championship game will be held December 2nd at 7:30 p.m. at Las Lomas High School, and the 3A and 4A championships will be held December 3rd at the Oakland Alameda County McAfee Coliseum at 4 p.m. and 7:15 p.m. See the best local high school football athletes from the East Bay. High school football at its best. Come on out and support educational athletics.
And a lot of the great players you see in that ad, Steve, here's a couple, just some of the names: Steve Kelly, Sam DeSaw, Matt Russey, Kyle Wright. I always put Tyler Wright. He actually plays for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks now for some reason. Adam Kiefer, Matt Swan, Colin Baring, Cale Turner, Connor Kirkpatrick, and there's Sam Keller, is at Arizona State, one of the
Tom
top
Hope.
Tom Hope's played in these games, and he's at University of Nevada, Reno. Here's some of the stats for him. McAllister still 111 yards passing, obviously, because he hasn't played. Tangler now with 45, and here's the kick. Gertz has rushed for 41, and Vacalin 86. A very balanced effort tonight for the Monte Vista offense. And a missed tackle there, as this is Creighton, and he's got the return out to about the 29-yard line. The tackle was made by number 15, John Hunter.
John Hunter, nice play on special teams. Got his name thrown in the mix. And no, I can't go for pie tonight.
Why?
Because I have to go to UOP tomorrow morning with my son very, very early.
UOP?
UOP. He's going to check out the campus. They got a whole thing with the campus that they open it up, and he's checking out a couple schools still.
That's Andujar in motion, and he's the ball carrier. Tries to go around the right side, breaks a tackle. He's still on his feet. Here's Andujar, the biggest play so far of the ball game for Amador. Makes a cut, makes another cut. He's still on his feet. He's got a caravan, and he's going all the way to the end zone for a touchdown. 72 yards, the biggest play of the ball game. No penalty flags, and Amador's finally on the scoreboard here in the third quarter, Steve.
And Andujar waited a while, but boy, was he electric on that run, Dan. And you know what? They needed this a long time ago, but you know what? Here we are with 6:19 in the third quarter to go. And you know what? They're on the board right here. And look at the sidelines, and the fans are going crazy. This will give them life. This will give them hope. And now it's all about respect. And we want to come back. We want to put some scores on the board there.
Well, they had a lot of big scores in the previous meeting.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first one in this game. Andujar, you could see, made some nice cuts, and then he had a caravan of purple and white out in front of him, and he made that final cut and goes all the way 72 yards. That's easily the biggest play of the game.
Absolutely.
For Amador.
Kind of look like Smokey and the Bandit right there, Dan, coming on in. You said a big caravan?
Papura. The extra point is good, 38-7. Let's take another look at the touchdown.
And here it is. Now watch this nice cut. Now he's got field vision. Oh, look at this. A herky jerk.
Yep, that
Stop
was
and go. Move there. And right here it's just to the corner pylon.
To the house, they say.
To the house.
To the house. Not to your house.
Not my house.
To the house.
Not your house. The house. Right there. There's a nice little. And here it is right here, Dan. Here comes your caravan you're talking about here, Dan.
Yeah, look at that.
And right here he's just to the house.
Yes, to the house.
Not your house, not my house, not their house, not the other house, not the house down the corner. The house.
Wasn't there a scary movie once, the house on this corner, or the house with eyes, or I don't know, something like that?
I had a real scary house when I used to come home with you. I knew it was going to be scary. The house on Medill Street.
You got a great block from Guillory.
Absolutely.
Outside,
Guillory, you did a good job. There was the cut, but watch his stop and go move. This is what you're going to like, Dan. Put on the brakes. Whoop, oh, no. Oh, boy. That's my son will be loud and go, he got juked. That's juked is the name there, Dan. I don't even know if you could use that in scramble, but he got juked.
Yeah, J-U-K-E-D. Yeah.
You can use that?
Well, yeah, jukebox and juked, yes.
Then you're a cheater.
Juke joint, jump.
Whatever.
Yes.
Another good run of it right here. And they just keep showing this because this is a great, great run by Andahar.
So we're back to the kickoff now. Amador with 6:19 to go, third quarter. Monte Vista will get the ball back, 38-7.
And Dan, I don't care who you are. I don't care what league you're in. Anything's better than a fat zero.
That's right. Andahar rushed for 626 and 8 touchdowns in the regular season. Guillory 838 and 5 touchdowns. They'd been kind of held down tonight until we had that big touchdown run. Here's a short kick. It falls at the 20, and they need to pick that up. It's a live ball. And Quady takes it, a little short return out of bounds around the 22, and Monte Vista will take over, 6:17 to go.
And Quady did a smart job right there, Dan, because if he would have got away from that, they could have grabbed it. Go ahead.
Here's Amador's season so far. As you can see, some St. John Bosco, that's a Southern California school. They
and a good school, too.
That's right. That big win over Irvington, who was in the playoffs. Granada made the playoffs. And then you can see a win over Antioch. And that was the breakout game for DeLeon Eskridge.
DeLeon Eskridge, yeah, he had 260-something yards or something, yeah.
And then they lost to California, beat San Ramon and Livermore, and lost to Monte Vista last week to Foothill. And I remember seeing the highlights of that Foothill game on the High School Sports Focus last week. They do a great job covering high school sports and thinking, hey, maybe we'll see Amador, and lo and behold, we have. First down. Tangler and Vacalin still the backfield for the Mustangs, and Tangler's in trouble, and he gets hit hard.
Yes, he does, Dan.
Very hard.
And number 70 was in on that mess, Dan.
Yeah, Paul Thomas was there with
Paul
the number
Thomas,
of...
there's Big Paul. He's saying, okay, guys, come on, let's go. And right there, he tried to do a quick slant. Well, the slant wasn't there. The guy did real good coverage on it, and he had to eat it because it was one of those, you know, the ones that Jerry Rice used to do all the time, Dan. He'd take that little slant, and then the next thing he'd be going.
And John Taylor.
And there's the yak yards. They're gone. Jones only threw it 4, and on the paper it says 98-yard touchdown. He liked that.
Yes.
Any quarterback likes that.
Loss at 2, 2nd and 12. Vacalin. And he's rumbling and bumbling, and he does that well. Gertz is a little bit more of a direct runner, and Vacalin is a little bit more of a power runner. He likes to run into people and run over people.
Chris Hoover was in on that. No, Dan, that's Monte Vista. Let me go on this side.
Pat Neal.
Pat Neal was in on that. And you know the thing is, Dan, is that right now you can kind of see it. We got about a 3rd and 7 or whatever we're looking at. Big play right here because now every play is going to be big for Amador. Everything. On defense, offense, they're all huge. They can't give up no more points, and they really have to make a run at it.
And they have to score 32.
Well, hey, Liberty scored 33 against Pitt in the fourth quarter.
They scored 40 in the second half. So
33
right,
in the fourth quarter.
That's right. Hey, the 49ers were trailing 38-12 in a playoff game a few years ago, and they won.
Now look at this.
Here's Tangler over the middle.
Look at
nice pass to Whalen, and Whalen has a first down out to the 39-yard line.
Let me tell you what was great about that, Dan. That was a crossing route. And what happened, the guy was with him all the way. He had to wait. Now watch this. Look at him wait. Now look at him. There's that nice throw that time, a little bit behind him. But it was a crossing route underneath, and he threw a good ball. They moved the chains. That hurt Amador because they had him on a 3rd down, and they converted. And you know what? I'm really impressed.
With Mr. Tangler?
Mr. Tangler.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
He's doing a good job.
Satterwhite made the tackle for Amador. First down, Monte Vista here from the 39-yard line.
And an actual nice spiral, too, he threw. So he shut me up.
Hand off to Vacklin, breaks the tackle and breaks free. Oh, that
nice
was a
tackle.
Nice tackle by number 8. Came up from the corner position. Adam Howe to make that tackle.
Adam Howe with a real nice tackle right there. And, you know, Vacklin, you look at the guy. He's not slow, but it looks like he's just gliding. You know, he's a glider, Dan.
And he would have had big yardage without that tackle, Steve.
But that's how you draw up, how you hit a guy right there.
Yeah, I've watched Kyle Wright, who played here, and we saw him in those games. He's done a great job. He's getting some national attention now. Some big wins for Miami down there. And, of course, Keller. Who would have thought it? You know, although we knew their potential, those two guys would become pro prospects out of this area, and they were friends when they grew up. Here's Vacklin, and he's tackled for a loss of about 2.
Yep. Chase Touré was in on that, number 22, Dan.
Yeah, Touré and Lewis were there.
Lewis cleaned it up. Touré was the first guy on the scene. You know, and the bottom line is here, these kids aren't giving up. That's what I like about high school sports. You know what? They're going to fight to the end. And, you know, it's all about that Dawn pride.
Is that what it is?
Dawn.
The Dawn pride.
The Dawn pride.
Doesn't every team have blank pride? The Panther pride, the Mustang pride. Every team has pride, right?
Charlie Pride.
Yes. Yes. He had pride, definitely.
He had pride.
Third down. Tangler in trouble. Steps up in the pocket, throws, has a receiver. Whalen again, and now Whalen will have over 100 yards receiving with that catch, and another first down to the 45-yard line. Creighton made the tackle. That's a gain of 14.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Go ahead, Dan. Here it is right here. Here's Kyle Wright, Dan. Remember this play? We did this game. Go ahead.
That's at the Coliseum. You can see the Raider logo there.
Yeah, there you go. And look at this throw. Look at this guy.
I think that's Cale Turner there, number 15.
I think you're right. I was going to say Kirkpatrick, but it is Cale Turner. Good.
And Cale Turner is
There's
also,
Dan, 979 to 4.
And he's at UC Davis.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
This is Vacklin.
Yeah.
And he'll need a few Vacklins after those hits.
I got Vicodin.
Yeah, I knew.
Hey, Dan.
Here's another Kyle Wright highlight there.
Yeah. We had a good time that day, didn't we?
I thought this was the best, shot and called game we ever did. Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of people who thought we did this game for Fox Sports. They didn't even know we were just doing it for our normal Comcast broadcast that day.
I called Tedford. I go, Tedford, can't you put DeSalle in the game a little bit? He's pretty fast.
Oh, you have Tedford's number?
Oh, yeah, I know Jeff Tedford.
Okay, I thought I'd check.
Okay, maybe I don't, but I'll look his number up and I'll call him.
Thanks. Second down. Vacklin again, and Vacklin's starting to get hit.
Yes, Touré was there again.
Also, number 44, Kerrigan was there alongside of Dakar, and it'll bring up a third down and about 9 here with 1:35 to go and a 31-point lead for the Mustangs.
See the way they do this? They show the ball down. I like this, see? Because then when you pull it back, you fake them. It's a play action.
That's play action.
Play action. But you teach that where they can see it. That's where the action comes in and the play. Hence, play action.
You are the greatest color man in history. You know that? Oh, my.
Okay, now hold on here.
Hold on one second. Kerrigan and Isabel just rocked Mr. Vacklin's clock on this
Somebody steal his lunch money or something? Look at this. Holy.
That looked like the blocking dummy making the tackle.
Yep.
The whole blocking dummy.
And you know who made the blocking dummy?
You.
No, I was the dummy.
You were the model for the blocking.
Amos Stagg made the blocking dummy.
Amos Stagg. They named the stadium in Stockton under him.
He made the blocking dummy.
Van Mugent.
Cool.
That was almost blocked. Nice kick. Comes down to Hoyer at about the 8-yard line.
Oh, he went the wrong way.
Yes, he did, and he's in big trouble. But he gets out of it, and he gets a block, and he's still on his feet. That's a nice return of about 15 yards as Hoyer's tackled on the far sideline. And Amador gets the ball back with 22 seconds to go. So I guess, Steve, at this point right now, barring a miracle, they're going to lose. But at least here they have some big defensive plays, and they've had a nice big offensive play by Andujar. And they're just showing, like you said, they're showing some pride.
They're showing some pride. We got the whole fourth quarter to go here. You know, I'm sure the coach would like to get a couple more times in the end zone. And you got to remember, next year they got a JV team that was 10-0.
Yep.
That's coming up to this Amador Valley team. So they got a whole lot to look forward to next year.
First down from the 23. Andujar in motion, handoff Guillory. And Guillory breaks a couple of tackles.
Now look at that.
Dives across the 30 out to about the 31-yard line. It's going to be about 2nd and 3 here, Steve, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. So in this half, 7-7, a little bit more even, but that big 31-0 halftime score is going to be hard to overcome. That'll do it for the third quarter. 38-7 Monte Vista as we head to the fourth quarter, and we'll be back with all the action here on Comcast after this.
Since 1980, Fresky Air Systems Incorporated has been keeping Contra Costa cool and comfortable. With an expert crew of technicians and staff, let Fresky be your indoor comfort professionals. Our Lennox Signature Home Comfort Systems are designed to deliver efficient and economical air and heat for your individual needs. Air conditioning to heating, duct cleaning to emergency service calls, Fresky has you covered. From the homeowner to the commercial world, Fresky Air Systems Incorporated. Reliable and trusted service since 1980.
Hi, I'm Rocco Bialy, and this is my family.
I'm Dante. I'm Dominic. And I'm Nina.
For the past 5 years, Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria has been the proud sponsor of the Comcast High School Game of the Week. As a neighborhood restaurant, being part of our community has been very important to my family and staff. I'd like to personally invite you to become part of our family. Great pizza, great pasta, and great people. Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, a part of your community.
Quality fine art, collectibles, and framing. Peacock Expressions Gallery of Antioch has it all. A wide variety of custom framing to fit everyone's needs. A certified showcase gallery with unique art from Thomas Kincaid, Lenox Classics, Franz, Thomas Blackshear, Armani, Bradford Exchange, and more. From original art to posters, worldwide, national, and quality local art, where quality does not have to break the bank. Find that special gift for that special someone.
Fourth quarter from Danville tonight at Monte Vista High School. Handoff to Andujar, and Andujar is mauled in the backfield. Great play that time. Waylon was there. Also number 81 came in, Jeff Ornelas.
Jeff Ornelas.
Send it down to Tony on the sideline.
At the Coliseum, a place they're trying to get back to. Here are the Mustangs hoisting some NCS hardware.
You can see there's a right, and there's the championship trophy. That was a 3A championship. They're now trying to win a 4A championship. And you know, Steve, De La Salle has only lost in the last 20 years 2 championship games at the Coliseum. One to Pittsburgh, the other was to Monte Vista back in 1987. And that's where they want to get back to. Another good defensive play. Short gain on third down. Getting up off the ground is Guillory, who's been had a tough night tonight for Amador.
And let's watch Brandon Sweeney, number 11. You know, he does a good job, too. When he gets a hold, look at this, Dan. You're pretty much done. You know, he's done a great job on both sides of the ball. I really like his game.
So, Steve, as we go through the fourth quarter tonight, as you see another replay, we'll talk a little bit about what you see ahead. Is your pick in the 4A, De La Salle Monte Vista? Is that where you see this going?
Absolutely. You know, unless, I mean, you know, the 4A, I see them too, yeah. Which would be interesting.
We'll talk about the 3A and the 2A later. Papur on to punt. And this punt is angled towards the sideline. And a fair catch. That was dangerous by Waylon, but caught at the 49-yard line. Monte Vista takes over 10:28 to go. Here's the 3A bracket, Steve, okay? So if we mentioned the 5 and 8 thing, do you really think that could happen?
No. You're going to have Los Lomas is going to win, okay? Hayward's going to beat San Ramon. Pinot Valley will win. Alameda's going to win, and then when it's all over, you're going to have Pinot Valley over here, and you're going to have Los Lomas and Pinot Valley.
So you're going to say at the Coliseum in 2 weeks, it's going to be Pinot Los Lomas in the first game and De La Salle Monte Vista in the second game, and Ignacio Marimani in 2A?
Yep.
So those are your picks. So we agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait. Okay.
Write that down.
I got 4 agreed from Dan. That's my all-time best, folks. I've never done that good in a game. I must be having a good game.
Tangler to throw. Swings a pass. Oh, what a hit! Oh, my. A great catch made by Sweeney and a better hit by Hoyer, or is either Hoyer or McCafferty. I was just trying to check to see if Sweeney was still breathing after that.
It was Hoyer.
It was Hoyer.
Made the hit, number 5. But you know what, Dan? That's what the coaches tell you. You're going to get hit anyway. You might as well catch it. And I'll tell you what, as a wide receiver, it never feels better after you get hit than you hold on to it, because that takes the pain away.
Here's Hoyer. Oh, he just depleted him on that one, Steve, as you like to say.
Not that it ever happened to me, but I think you'd feel better after you got hit. You held on the ball. I could be wrong.
And Hoyer, we mentioned, a first-team All-Leaguer. First down, the ball at the 41-yard line. Gain of 11 on that play. The throw to number 11, who has an 11-yard touchdown. Tangler still the quarterback. He's played more tonight than McAllister has. And the handoff to Vacklin. Has a block sealed on the end. Makes a cut. Still on his feet. Vacklin breaks another tackle. Finally down at the 15-yard line. Another great run by that young man. He's having a fine game tonight. And you know another thing too, Steve, is Vacklin. Now he's a senior, and he's getting some playing time here because he's reaching the end of his career here at Monte Vista.
But you know what the thing about it is? I finally figured out about him. He makes people miss. That's what he does.
And then when they hit you, he likes to
carry you another 5 yards. So he does a great job right here. Here's another shot of it. Number 28, Tom Hogan from Nevada playing for Vacklin. That's Vacklin. But right here, check this out. I mean, he makes you miss.
And then likes to run over you. 115 yards. Last time we saw them, he had a big game because Gertz got hurt in that game.
That's right. That's true.
Great depth here on this Monte Vista squad. Tangler to throw on first down. Looking to the end zone, throws, Whalen. Oh, and it's out of the hands of Whalen. He had to spin around there. It was a pair of sixes, which is not a great hand in poker or football, Steve. Brett Lewis was down there.
And watch this, Dan, and I tell you what, he did spin around, and he almost made a circus catch right here. Watch him spin his head. That's concentration. He almost caught it, but you know what? Great throw, only his guy could have caught it, so. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to have to call Beatty. He's got to find a single man to go out with that guy's mom, have her move to Antioch, and then he can quarterback the Panthers. I don't know if his moms are married. I better call Mr. Tiegler first. I got to see if the mom's single. Because then we can move him to Antioch, and then, you know, he can have McAllister. We'll take this guy.
You're killing me. Tangler to throw. Rolling, looking, in trouble, gets out. Oh, he doesn't get out of the way of that guy.
Oh, no.
Thrown to the ground by number 83. I don't think we've called this name, Al Pack. And he came out of the pack.
Well, he was just totally frustrated. He's hungry. He hasn't had soup in a couple days. And right here, watch this. He just says, you know what? I haven't done it. I'm doing. How's that? Somebody call my name.
He was running with the pack.
He was. One thing about pack, you think there's more than one guy when he attacks you, because it's like a pack.
Like a leader of the pack.
He's leader. There you go, leader of the pack.
I think we've run out of
we have. Who knows? We'll come up with some other stuff.
Pack, I don't know. There's a lot of packs.
There's a lot of packs.
Yeah.
Remember the pack used to run around high school?
Yeah, most of them are in jail.
Yeah, they're still chewing on my legs, them guys.
Man, third and somewhere near the Sun Valley Mall for Monte Vista. We haven't said that a lot tonight.
No, we haven't. But that's...
Wow, yeah. 3rd and 24. After that sack, Tangler to throw. Has time, throws, has a receiver, Whalen. Whalen makes the catch and makes a move. Still on his feet, fighting down near the 10-yard line where he's knocked down. Close to a first down. I think they need about 3 or 4 more, Steve, but they got a big chunk of that back on this pass.
And here's a good throw, but let's watch.
Over here.
Over here.
Yes, number 6. Yes.
Whalen.
Yes.
He's had a good game, that guy, huh?
Ryan Van Whalen, yes.
But here's what I like about him. He got a little tough right there. Look at that protection up front, huh?
All league.
Yeah.
Top receiver, one of the top receivers in the East Bay. And
here's a field goal to tip down.
Yep, this is probably for later. You need to practice these. Van Mugen's kick is up, and it's good. That kick, Steve, came from about, I'll say, 28 yards, 41-7. Let's take another look at the field goal. Maybe we have a view from the scissor lift.
There's Coach Babcock right there giving some love to his special teams. Here's a scissor lift. Watch this.
Right down the middle. That Van Mugen, no wonder he was the all-league kicker. He's good.
Well, he's good. You know, another guy in this town who's pretty good is that Martinez kid at Oregon right now.
He's at Oregon.
He's at Oregon. He's
actually, that wasn't right down the middle, but it was between the uprights. And that's the important thing.
It counted just as much if it went right down the middle.
That's right.
See?
Actually, we have a lot of kickers. You know, we have over at Cal, Mr. Schneider.
Yeah, Mr. Schneider. He was from Los Lomas.
And the Comcast Game of the Week is brought to you by these great friends of the program, Rocco's Ristorani and Pizzeria in Walnut Creek, Velocity Sports Performance, Game Pod, Combat Airsoft. I can't say that real fast.
That's okay.
You know, Diablo Auto Sales of Antioch, Ambrose Antique and Floral, Mazet Pontiac in Pittsburgh, ParamountTechnology.com, the computer wizards in Concord.
Anything with technology in it, I'm out.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like, okay, whatever. I can go get the paper in the front yard, but then my Jack Russell could do that too, so that's about all I'm good for, Dan.
Here's the kick.
They're offside.
And they're offside, so they're going to kick it again. 7:25 to go in this one. 41-7 Mustangs. And once again, for all you Monte Vista fans, if De La Salle wins tonight, they're playing right now. Next week, Monte Vista will play at home on Saturday against the winner of the San Leandro-Pittsburgh game, and De La Salle would play the winner of the California Foothill game.
That's true.
As I mentioned, if De La Salle loses and it somehow snows in the Bay Area over the next 3 days, which would probably be a corresponding thing, you know, the end of the world or something crazy happens, then Monte Vista would play on Friday night, and the winner of the Cal game would host that game. And
you know, the great thing
there's the bracket.
There's a bracket, and you know what a lot of people don't know is Coach Ladouceur started as a defensive back coach at Monte Vista.
That's right.
That's right. Right here, back in the day.
A long time ago. Don't forget to buy your copy of this game, $25, shipping included. We can send you a DVD or VHS tape, 933-6264, or Game of the Week at Comcast.net. Some people, remember Tony, he only has a VCR, so he'd have to buy a tape. He doesn't have a DVD player. There are some people still out there, but most of us would buy the DVD. And there's one of the up guys, number 85. We haven't called his name, Casey Mays. No relation to Willie.
No, but might be Cecil Mays used to cut hair on State Street.
He used to cut mine. I knew his son. A lot of thanks out to the sponsors: Amorosa Antique and Floral, Diablo Auto Sales, Jeffrey Hook Doctors of Dentistry, Game Pod Combat Airsoft, Antioch Opticians, Images of 3 Hair Salon, Recovery Carpet Care.
And folks, we want to thank these guys for jumping aboard. And if your company wants some action, get a hold of Matt. We'll set something up for basketball and baseball we got coming up.
Glenn to throw, first down. Down the field, double coverage on the Amador receiver. That was Satterwhite running with a Langen and also number 3, Sean Spillner. The pass is incomplete. I'll tell you, I've been really impressed with the pass coverage tonight. They have blanketed Amador's receivers in this game.
That's a good point, Dan. They really have, and they've been right there. He's thrown into double coverage, and you're absolutely right. And you know what, Dan? It's just been a clinic. These guys have put on a clinic. The first half was a clinic, and you know it's just hard to get out of that, Dan.
2 of 11 for 8 yards. That's the kind of defensive pressure he's been faced with tonight.
And you know, the thing about it is, they really didn't have a chance to mix it up. You know what I mean? It's just they got behind so quick, and I'll get the 30 end in before it's over.
Thanks. Oh, there's Guillory. Nice catch. That's the 3rd completion of the night. 11-yard gain and a first down.
Yeah, that's a good call, Dan. They're going to give him the mark right there. That's going to move the chains.
And there's a look at it, Steve.
You know, one thing in the first half, though, Monte Vista played with a half a field the whole first half.
Well, yeah.
You know, not only did they score, they played with a half a field. Every time they got the ball, they were at midfield.
Steve, I didn't mention the Monte Vista all-leaguers. Rudberg, Sweeney, and Langen all first team, and of course Costanzo is first team everything.
Yeah.
Here's a pass near sideline intended for Guillory, and it's incomplete. And here's the rest of our great friends of the program. White and Noni Doctors of Dentistry, Roger Fernando State Farm Insurance, 19th Hole Casino and Lounge. Hi to Eddie Bodine and the gang out there. Randy's Carpet Care, the New Mecca Cafe. Hi to Guillermo and everyone down there. Martine, all of our good friends there. Bridgehead Self Storage, Rock Bottom Records. Thanks to all the great friends of the program. And please support the friends of the program.
That's right.
They make it happen for us each and every week here. That's why we can do football, soccer, volleyball, basketball, rugby, baseball, everything we do.
And along with Comcast, too, Dan.
Thank you. That's right. Oh. And that's a big hit there, number 95 coming in. And here's a guy, I like this name. You were talking about the Big Red Wave?
Yeah.
Chris Krychev.
Oh, my God. See, I knew there was a communist plot here. This tells you right here that Bergman, when he was in the Final Four, he ran into some Nishkif guy. And he got into mischief with
Nishkif with Nishkif.
He goes, hey, I got 78 football players all in red. I'm going to send out to Monte Vista. But you got to change your name. Stryhogue and, you know, Wright.
I thought maybe he met some of the Red Army
We'll
hockey
give him
team
simple names. Langland, Sweeney, McAllister, Tedford, them kind of guys. Snowy.
3rd and 16. And here's a new number for you, number 4, Pat Llewellyn, running hard, a 4-yard gain, but Amador's going to have to kick again with 6:05 to go, and it looks like their season's going to come to an end, Steve. Of course, last year they had a very successful year, 10-0 in the regular season, 12-0 overall, went into Cal Berkeley at Memorial Stadium and lost to De La Salle 41-0.
And as Coach Riddle for the JVs, so go ahead, Dan, Brendan Theaters. Well, movie magic in Concord and Pittsburgh.
14 screens in Concord, 16 in Pittsburgh. Saw 2, Chicken Little, Walk the Line, Harry Potter.
I recommend you go see Saw 2. You'll never sleep alone again. You'll be so scared.
There you go. Amador's going for it on 4th down, and nothing to lose here. And here's Glenn running for his life, throwing, has a receiver. Oh, almost intercepted. Ornelas came up from his safety spot. And yeah, they wanted that one. They didn't get it, but it's going to be a turnover on downs. What are you saying about Coach Riddle, Steve?
And right here, let's watch the replay right here, Dan. And you see him up, watch him hang it, Dan. Look and float it. Oh, it got tipped, too. It got tipped by big number 11, who's had a great game. Brandon Sweeney.
Coach Riddle was saying.
Coach Riddle was saying that, you know, Steve, regardless of what happens, the Calvary's right around the corner. 10-0 JVs. We have a guy you're going to hear about, Chip Becker. He's a running back. Nick Voto, he's a wide receiver. And James Peters is a wide receiver. And these guys are big-time playmakers.
Well, Guillory's just a sophomore. Starkey, who starts on the line, is a sophomore. On their defensive side, Isabel's a junior. Dakar's a sophomore. Howe's a junior. So there'll be a few guys coming back. Guillory, obviously, the big name there.
And then you got that 10-0 team coming up. You know, with those guys, and then, you know.
Timeout on the field. And you can see Coach Bergman going out to talk to. I'll tell you, Tangler's had a nice little game coming up the bench.
Nice game. I'm really impressed with him. And I like what Bergman did with him tonight. You know, he got him some action, Dan. You know, everything's been McAllister all year. 31-0. He goes, hey, I'm going to put him up. Peacock Express's Gallery. They're on the corner of 3rd and G in Antioch. 754-9022. You want anything framed? If you want to talk about some extraordinary gifts that you could buy for somebody, go into there. Go into there and just go downtown Antioch, all you people over this side of the hill. Take a Saturday, go have some coffee, go to Humphreys, go to the Review Lodge, go to all the antique shops downtown Antioch. You'll be amazed.
Don't forget the Comcast Game of the Week is only seen here on your Comcast local origination channel. Tangler off the bench, 91 yards passing. A very nice game for him tonight.
And if you got a satellite, you're out. And there's the crew in the truck with Matt. I always wonder what they do while we're up here, Dan.
I think they sit and watch.
Look at the field right there.
Yeah, there they are. I think they watch television. They're probably watching the Warrior game right now.
They're watching Looney Tunes. Oh, look at Joe. Okay, there we go. Folks, now the cat's out of the bag.
First down, handoff. This is Spillner now in the game. We're into the 3rd string running back, and number 44, who's played a nice game defensively, Kerrigan, makes the tackle.
Well, that 3rd string may be in for Monte Vista, but the 1st string still in for Amador. They're not very happy.
Well, this is it for them.
This is Swansea. Yeah, a lot of guys
are playing their last game.
They'll never play again.
No, a lot of them won't.
They won't. That's the way it is. And sometimes we forget about that. This is it for them, you know.
Guys that are great players here sometimes don't even go on and play in like junior college.
They might as well just forget it. Their life's over. Yeah, Dan. I mean, it's, you know, they got no future after this.
No, I'm sure that most of these guys will have a
great
fine
kids.
future.
Hey, you know, it's all about education anyway, Dan.
That's right.
Sports is just a secondary thing.
Play action. He had Meade faked out a little bit there. That was a nice pass. Tangler to number 9, Mike Healy, in the ball game. So we're going to have some new names and some new numbers and pronunciations here. Here's a look at it, Steve, from the scissor lift.
Nice job by Taylor. Look at him. He buys a little bit of time. And you know what? The one thing I like about him, he does put the ball in the numbers. It may take a while to get there, and he has different throws, but very effective. Well, he's a southpaw. And he's like my son. He's a little, you know, he's kind of funny anyway.
Little wacky.
Little wacky. Southpaws are all a little different. I don't care who you are. AKA Bill Lee.
Yes, the spaceman.
Absolutely, I knew you'd know that.
And a penalty flag. I believe it'll be a hold on the right side of the line. Spillner was the ball carrier.
And Brett Lewis, number 6, was in on that tackle. Give him a little kudos for not giving up late in the game here. Let's watch number 6 here. Let's isolate on him now. And what he does, he just says, hey, coach, I really can't tackle. Just watch this. Boom.
And that flag came in from the sideline, Steve. Yep. A nice throw. As you always say. What was that? Last week we had a flag. What did the guy throw? About 30 yards across the field?
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah, I saw the highlight. I saw the replay.
It was a bag of dimes in it or something. I never seen a flag go that. I was like, wow.
There's part of our crew here covering tonight. Yep, Randy, Matt. There's Tony on the. And Joe. There they are.
Oh, there they are. Hey, there's our camera guys. They do a great job. And there's Randy's carpet cleaning. You see him right there? Mm-hmm. I talked to him.
And Tony's down there, and he's getting ready to interview the players of the game.
He told me John Fowler on Channel 2 told me to say hi.
He knows us?
He knows me. I don't know if you don't know John Fowler. You don't know him on Channel 2?
I've seen him.
Okay. I know him. So if you're watching this, hello, John.
4th down. Van Mugen to punt. They have some good nicknames over here. Of course, Ted Van Mugen.
Oh, okay.
And I'll tell you, special teams play has been just as dominating as the offense and defense. That time, Creighton takes the ball, just a short return, and he's inside, actually, their own 10-yard line, Steve.
Talking about Ted Nugent.
Yes.
Honey.
Yes.
I hit a deer on Nation Valley on the way here. Can you believe it? I hit a deer. Anybody on YV seen the deer? I hit him.
I did.
Did you see the deer? He was on. I hit that deer. I hit a guy.
I saw the deer.
Well, a guy hit him first before me, but he was staggered, and I gave the knockout blow to him. And I had the crew mill. I couldn't stop, Dan. I hit the deer.
I thought that pizza had a little deer taste.
And I got lost in Walnut Creek. That's how come you beat me here.
First down, long pass, incomplete. A new quarterback in the ball game, Wesley Garwood, a junior, number 16.
Well, you know, they had a bounty out for a deer over in Danville over here. Not Danville, over in Lafayette. He was eating everybody's yard. And
really?
The dog, yeah, they actually had a picture of him and stuff of the deer in the paper. Wanted with a deer. I died. And they had a little Jack Russell in the paper barking. I looked just like my dog. He was like going crazy. And I don't know if they ever caught the deer, but he's in the woods in Orinda, and he's like raising
I thought
habit.
You said Lafayette.
In Orinda, I'm sorry. In
La Marinda.
La Marinda area, yeah, but it's in the paper stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
They're after the deer, okay. The deer hunter.
It's come down to this.
Pitch, this is another new number in the ball game. Chase Teray, who we've seen on defense, is running the ball now. Number 22.
And number 30, Dan. Eric Hong. No, Eric Hong was, let me go like this. Brandon Hatfield was in on the tackle. Let's watch number 30. He comes in here. He's getting blocked. Plays off the block. Well, it wasn't Brandon. It was number 60 who came in late from Monte Vista, and that would be Matt Fury. Daniel.
Thank you. 2:45 to go. And, you know, someday, Steve, we will get a very close game. I predicted one day this, hopefully.
But even if we do have a close game, we're still going to have fun, me and you.
Absolutely.
We're going to have a good time.
Third down. And another new quarterback in the game. This is number 1, Kevin Gatelli. And Gatelli throws one downfield, and I think we have a pass interference.
Yeah, you're going to get one, Dan. He was trying to hook up with Brett Lewis.
Yeah,
He'll be coming back. He's a junior.
Spillner and Lewis ran into each other, like you ran into that deer.
After the first guy hit him, but
Lewis got up. Gatelli just rears back and fires this one. And you can see the end of that. I think it was number 24 who had contact, actually, Eric Bailey. So it's a penalty and a first down out to the 23-yard line. 2:20 to go in this.
Dan, well, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but what an impressive showing by Monte Vista tonight. I mean, you know, going into this, come on, Dan. We really thought this was going to be a shootout. Maybe who had the ball last was going to win. You know, we really figured, you know, but they just came out and they played a great first half.
You got to wonder, are they the team that maybe can finally beat the Big Green Machine? And if they don't, then, you know, who's ever going to beat them?
Right.
Here's Gatelli with a keeper.
The one thing that people don't know about De La Salle, Dan, I'll tell you what, it is really, if you want to know about De La Salle, read the the best high school books, sports books I ever read. By Neil Hayes, When the Season Stands Tall, and 2 great teams about the Long Beach Cal Poly and the De La Salle game. And you want to talk about 2 great books, and you read those, and after you get done reading them, you go, absolutely, it's the system. It's what they do over there. It's the way they prepare them, and it's the system, and the way they get them out on the field to execute. That's what it's all about.
It's amazing, too, when I'm out on the road, I see Neil Hayes' book on bookshelves, you know, like in Cincinnati and Los Angeles. It's great. Here's a pass intended for Lewis, and in and out of his hands.
I got it. If you want to read it, I'll break it next game. You can read both of them. Get back to me here later. I do want them back, but I'll let you read both of them. See what you think. A lot of people in it. Ferris Anthony.
I just talked to Coach Ferris
Tim Galley's in it. Bassinelli's in it.
Vic Galley's probably in it, too.
Vic Galley's in it. A lot of the people we know is in it, so I think you'll really enjoy reading it. And Neil Hayes does a great job. I really like reading Neil Hayes.
There's the last pass attempt.
And I like listening to Isaac Hayes.
Yes, thank you.
In case anybody wonders, you know.
I used to like watching the guy that, who played for the Cowboys. He ran. What was his name?
Bob Hayes?
Bob Hayes, that was it, yeah.
He was slow.
Not really. He might be now. Third down. Gatelli to throw. He's in trouble. Throws one up, and it's incomplete. Number 15 there in the coverage, John Hunter, and he was covering Ricky Isabel, who's playing on offense now late in the game. So once again, there's the 4A. So you're going to put Monte Vista in there. Very nice. We've already done that work. They're 11-0 after tonight's game. They will play the winner of the San Leandro-Pittsburgh game,
which will be Pitt.
You're predicting that.
It's
so
Pitt.
you can go back to the Galley's house next year for dinner.
I got to have wine with Hizzy.
There you go. But if Pitt wins, that would be here next Saturday night. If De La Salle wins, they play the winner Cal Foothill at De La Salle next Friday night. And that's a possibility of maybe perhaps the game of the week next week.
Yeah, Giz Galley predicted.
Papura with a fake and a throw and an interception. So that's pretty fitting for tonight's game.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't really been able to do anything. Brandon Hausfeld makes the interception with 1:21 to go. You can see Papura here. They've tried everything but the kitchen sink in the second half. 3 quarterbacks, now a punter throwing, a bunch of different running backs. And Monte Vista just played a great game tonight, Steve.
Yes,
they deserve all the kudos.
Oh,
here.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
This is will be the 10th out of 11th game this year. They've scored over 30 points. The only team that held them under 30 was Berkeley back in, I believe, week number 3, 24-10 right here. That's the only time they scored under 30. They scored 30 against Amador the last time. This is a juggernaut, one of the great offensive teams in the area. And barring some upset, they will probably play De La Salle in 2 weeks at the Coliseum, and we'll be there to bring it to you. And this is Spillner. And Spillner's knocked out of bounds by number 50, Brent Starkey. I wonder if he's any relation to Joe Starkey.
Sean Spillner, he's got a little bit of speed right there, Dan. Yeah. Looked like he just came out of Starbucks with a double espresso. Look at this guy right here. Nice job. Turns up the field. I think he's a junior, right, Daniel? No, Dan? He's a senior, so Coach Bergman's trying to get everybody in at the end.
Absolutely.
Carry the ball a little bit.
Once again, there's the brackets, so you know. And next week, of course, we've got the question mark there for them. We want to say happy holidays to everyone. We hope you have a nice Thanksgiving. We will not talk to you again until a week from tonight if you're watching this on Saturday, or a week from Sunday when we show you next week's game. Check the Contra Costa Times. We'll have the game of the week for you listed next week.
And for all you people who are shocked, yes, Thanksgiving is next week.
And it's amazing. With the weather we're having, it seems like it's still September. Here's Spillner, short run. Clock will run here, and we're just a couple plays away from this one being over. 11-0 Monte Vista goes, Steve, and looking to head to that championship game. The last time they won in 2002, they were a 3A team, and this year they'd have to win in 4A. Casey Mays made the tackle for Amador. 54 seconds to go in the ballgame. Want to thank both the schools. Want to thank the athletic director at Amador, Lou Cesario, who I happen to know his dad from back in the day, working at the liquor barns in the days when we used to do merchandise at liquor barns.
There you go.
And one of my employees, Mick Sikowski, and Lou were very close back in the day. Also want to thank Coach Babcock and Coach Bergman on the Monte Vista side for all their help tonight in bringing you this game. This could be the last play of the ball game. Tangler hands off to Spillner, straight up the gut on second down. And now with 25 seconds to go, I think, Steve, it's safe to say that could do it. Nick Johansson, we haven't called his name. We'll call it now.
He was in
made the tackle. And there's the clock running down, and that'll do it. The final play of the ball game. Monte Vista 41 in a very, very dominating performance, Steve. And Amador 7. And we'll be back to wrap it up with stats and highlights and tell you about next week here on Comcast.
Looking for quality equipment rental with a helpful, friendly staff? Hertz Equipment Rental of Pacheco has over 4,100 pieces of reliable equipment to choose from, ready for delivery. Or if you're looking to purchase equipment, check out our pre-owned equipment sales list for super bargains on well-maintained pre-owned equipment. With Hertz, you have the right tool to get the job done. That's Hertz Equipment Rental at their new location, 30 South Buchanan Circle in Pacheco. Call Hertz today, 925-680-0316.
Is your laptop or home computer driving you crazy? Paramount Technology of Concord has the answers. Located behind Tower Records in Concord, Paramount Technology has it all. Quick in-house laptop repair and servicing, mobile computer service calls, and great customer service for those wishing to have a computer made to your specifications. Your computer wizards with expert service and products for today's computer world. That's Paramount Technology of Concord at 1252 Diamond Boulevard in Concord, the computer wizards of Contra Costa.
back at Monte Vista High School. 41-7, Monte Vista over Amador. And we're going to take another quick break here before we come back to wrap up tonight's game with stats and highlights after this break here on Comcast.
Hi, I'm Rob from Central Tune-Up. Check this out. Oil filter crusher. Did you
odor control and stain removal, owner-operator and family-friendly. Call today to reserve your spot. Randy's Carpet Care. We exist to serve you. Call 925-518-1088.
All right, with our Brendan Theaters players of the game first, Ryan Whalen, 6 catches, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. And is this getting to be a little bit of old hat? Can anybody stop you guys?
No, you know, I don't know. We're practicing hard and we're just preparing for the next team, and we came out fired up today because we had a tough time against them last time. We just want to prove we're better than that.
Yeah, with the tough time you had with them last time, do you think this was going to be a little bit closer? What was the week like in practice?
We weren't sure. We just we had a real good week of practice, and we wanted to stop the big plays, which really hurt us last time. And we just came out real pumped up and played well.
Ryan, good game. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, certainly a big game. They did stop those big plays. Anthony Banzette on the defensive line. You know, all the said about the offense. The defense probably gets a little overshadowed, but you guys are playing pretty well and maybe just as dominant as this offense, huh?
Yeah, we have to step it up, and next week's going to be a big game no matter who we play, so we got to keep playing like we're playing.
Yeah, it seems like nobody can stop this Monte Vista offense, but what about in practice? I know there's a couple guys that go both ways, but in practice, what about it? You guys hold your own with these guys?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, we do. I mean, in practice, it's intense. We play game speed. I mean, we don't tackle, but we play game speed.
Anthony, thank you very much. Our Brendan Theaters players of the game. Brendan Theaters, enjoy the show. Let's go back upstairs now to Dan and Steve.
Thanks a lot, Tony. Now, here's an impressive thought, Steve.
Okay.
Both juniors. Incredible.
Wow.
That's how good this team. We could be right back here a year from tonight looking at the same thing all over again.
Absolutely.
And we'll definitely have to do the Monte Vista San Ramon game next year on our schedule. Let's take a look at the highlights from the second half.
Okay. Right here, you're just going to see a little quarterback sneak right there.
That was Mr. Tangler, who had a very nice game.
Yeah, really. Yeah. And I was really impressed with.
He passed for 95 yards and 6 completions. This is the one highlight for Amador.
Right. And it was a big highlight, too. Now here's where my son says the guy gets juked. I hope you don't see his number because I don't want to point it out. Watch this juke move, though. This is juke. Juke, 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 juke. Look. That's a juke move. That's where you just get, here's your jockstrap. You know. I got to go to the end zone. I'll talk to you later. You know.
That was a great move there.
Great move.
But that's the only touchdown of the ball game. Yeah. And then here's the late field goal by Van Mugen. And that will do it. 41-7. Yep. Monte Vista wins tonight. They advance to the next round. As now we've said it now, I think about 16 times. But if you're just joining us, next week here, if it's San Leandro or Pittsburgh, as long as De La Salle wins. Here's the stats. Dominated, but thank God for Amador. They did have some positive yardage in the second half, Steve. Yes. Finished with 123 total yards, 104 running. Total yards for Monte Vista, 354. Very balanced tonight, 158 running, 206 passing. Wasn't a lot to talk about turnover-wise or really even penalty-wise tonight. It was a pretty clean game. These are two teams that know each other very well, two coaching staffs that know each other, and there was no chicanery out there tonight at all. For Amador, Guillory was held to 31 yards rushing. Andujar finally broke free with that big run, had 93 yards and the only touchdown. Glenn was held to 3 completions, 19 yards, and Nick Guillory had 2 catches for 17. On the Monte Vista side, Gertz just played barely a quarter and a half, had 41 yards. Had a touchdown. Vacalin ran for 115 yards. Nice to have that kind of depth on your team. McAllister, 6 of 12 for 111 and 2 touchdowns. Now listen to this. Tangler, 6 of 11 for 95 yards and a touchdown on the ground. Receiving-wise, Waylon, one of our players of the game, 6 catches, 132 and 2 TDs, and that one great 53-yard run. Noe had 3 catches for 36 and Langen 2 for 34. So, Steve, we wrap up another one. Before we go, I want to remind you, Dave Jackson's West Coast Jamboree. It starts on December 27th, goes through the 31st. It'll be in gyms all throughout Contra Costa County, 152 teams competing in 17 divisions in 11 gyms throughout Contra Costa County, and you can check the Contra Costa Times for schedules as that tournament gets closer. Of course, our winter schedule starts with a soccer game on December 13th, and then we'll have a game from Dave's tournament. We wrap up another one, say goodnight to all the great friends of the program here on the Comcast Game of the Week as we look forward to Week 2 of the North Coast Section Playoffs, and we'll have a game for you next week right here on Comcast. And speaking of rush, there's a little rush.
There's a little rush, little Canadian rush.
Yes, Canadian rush. Comcast Game of the Week brought to you by these great friends of the program, Rocco's Ristorani and Pizzeria in Walnut Creek, Contra Costa Clean Water Program, and Mr. Funnelhead. Velocity Sports Performance in Concord. Brendan Theaters in Concord and Pittsburgh. Movie Magic. Hertz Equipment Rental. Peacock Expressions Gallery. Freshie Air Systems Incorporated. Other great friends, Amorosa Antique and Floral, Diablo Auto Sales, Jeffrey Hogue, Doctor of Dentistry, GamePod Combat Airsoft, Antioch Opticians, Images of 3 Hair Salon, Recovery Carpet Care. I want to thank all of our great friends for helping us bring you this game, including Keith White and Brett Anoni, Doctors of Dentistry, Roger Fernando, State Farm Insurance, the 19th Hole Casino and Lounge, Randy's Carpet Care, the New Mecca Cafe, Bridgehead Self Storage, Rock Bottom Records. Additional friends include Lito's Barbershop, Pantel's Music Box, Queen Bee's Quilt Shop, Ghost Cycles, the Williams Company, and Fitness 19. Thanks once again to all of our great sponsors and friends here on the Comcast Game of the Week. Don't forget, next week we'll have a North Coast section playoff game for you. Could be in 2A, could be in 3A, could be in 4A. Check the Contra Costa Times for that schedule, just like this week. I'm going to go out on a limb, Steve, and say Ignacio Valley and Acalanes.
Okay, I like it.
That's my pick for next week. Right. But we'll see where we end up. Right. Sometime, watch them both lose now. Yeah. I'll be getting some phone calls this week.
The Wall Jeeks.
Have a happy holiday, folks. For Steve Sanchez, Matt Bolander, and our great Comcast crew, this is Dan Wall saying goodnight from Danville, where the final score was Monte Vista 41, Amador 7. This has been a high school sports production brought to you by Comcast and Walnut Creek.
Happy holidays and good night, everybody.